What's your sign? What's your sign? What's your sign? You're not more annoying than I am. You're never more annoying than me. Whoa, that's not what we're going to do. All right, y'all, I'm getting myself together. I'm letting people know that I'm here and we ain't here, and let people know that we here and we ain't here, and then we're going to get started. I'm also trying to make sure that I'm up and ready. Oops. I'm hungry. I won't lie to you. I'm hungry. I need food. Why are you doing this? Oh, that's why you're doing this. There you go. I'll be having thousands of followers on like really? Okay. Let me get my life together. As I slowly get like more and more used to doing this, actually getting better with my startup time, believe it or not. But it's still bad. But it's just like it's a lot to do at the same time. Like it'd be so easier if there was another person here with me and it was like doing things while I was doing things. It's the marketing for me, being completely honest with you. It's like I get started on the video and then I have to turn around and like share it in all these groups and share it on people's pages. And for some reason I can't get my other screen to work. So then I'm dealing with that too. Like my screen isn't working. I usually have a dual monitor and that helps me like market it and like view and all these things at the same time, but it's not happening right now. I have to figure out what it is that I need on my computer to get that part working because right now it is not. And that's okay. Hold on, let me mute myself over here so I'm not over here echoing on myself. And welcome. Today is January 5th, 2021. I think today is somebody's birthday. And if I didn't text you and say you happy birthday, my bad. But I do feel like today is somebody's birthday. January 5th. January 5th. Whose birthday is that? Whose birthday is it? Today's somebody's birthday. I'm pretty sure I'll get a text message at 11:59 p.m. Like, thanks a lot.
Birthday it is in the comments.
Yeah, if it's your birthday, make some noise. If it's your birthday, make some noise. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I got my gauges in. I'm just out here living my best life, just naked out here. That's what's up. That's where we at. It's okay. So I do this every day. If this is your first time coming in, I do this on a daily basis. And what I do is I talk about where the planets are. I let people, come in, chime in, let me know if there's some planets or some asteroids or nebulas, etc., you guys want me to address on a daily basis. And I will add that to that because we are slowly just adding to the repertoire and learning about what the planets are doing on a daily basis. Now, what I do on a zodiac level, if you want to go over to my YouTube page at Less Nobodies, you could check out, I do this every zodiac season. So I do have the Capricorn planetary forecast for 2021 up if you want to see what the planets are doing on a larger scale for the month of January. Yes. And I also put some cheats in there and I'll let y'all know, what's to happen some years ahead. Like I'm already 6 years ahead of it. Actually, I'm actually 10 years ahead of us. I already know what's going on and what's going down. So, as you guys get used to tuning in with me on a daily basis, you guys will eventually be able to predict what the planets are going to do 5 to 10 years from now as well. The whole point is just to get used to hearing this kind of information, being able to compute through life with this kind of information to the point where it becomes second nature. So thank you to all who have been tuning in every day since I started this. This is also a way for me to align with my knowledge, right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for your messages and your feedback on how well the planetary forecast has been for you guys. And let's just keep going and being persistent and consistent because that's the goal and that's the game, right? It is for me. And I apologize that I don't give times. I'm very bad with time. I'm very bad with being on time. I was born an entire month late and I've just been late ever since to everything. And I don't like giving y'all times because I know I'm not going to make it even when I try to make it. Like today, I told y'all 3 o'clock. I didn't get on here till 3:04 and I still didn't start until a few minutes ago. So I try. And, the universe does what it wants to do. And being on time is not one of them. So we could just keep going. Let's talk about the sun. So this morning when we started the day, I go from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. so that the next day I can start at 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. and it doesn't feel like I'm regurgitating too much because the minute does matter, right? When we're talking about the moon and certain nebulas and asteroids and things like that, the minute does matter. It does change its altitude. It does change its degree, so on and so forth, especially when we're talking about the moon, right? So getting into the sun. Oh, I got one of those thingies in my nails. It hurts. We started the day at 12 a.m. with the sun at 50 degrees to latitude in Capricorn in the 5th house. And tonight at 11:59 p.m., we will be ending the day at 16 degrees to latitude in Capricorn in the 5th house. So the sun is all about your ego, your self-purpose, your self-esteem. It's that masculine energy, how you interact with masculine energy, how you interact with your own masculine energy, the masculine energy of those around you, and all that fun stuff. So with the sun sitting in Capricorn energy, you feel yourself engaging in more serious and reserved communications. You may be lacking in humor. Maybe some things that you usually think are funny, they're not funny anymore. Maybe some shows you used to watch, you're not really watching that much anymore because like the humor is a little off to you now. Some The person that you thought was the most hilarious person in the world is not funny to you right now. The humor is kind of trash to you right now, or you just might not be just funny right now. Your jokes aren't funny. You might be engaging in some hurtful jokes, some mean jokes during this time, especially since Capricorn does invoke that crude communication and so on and so forth. I'm okay. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of the shrewdness, the narrow mindedness that can come with Capricorn energy, kind of like that tight ass type energy. Be mindful of that. Be aware. And it's sitting in that fifth house, which is the house of children, creativity, and romance. So we're tapping into that Leo energy as well. So you have the sun sitting in earth and fire at the same time. And that's fun. Some hot rock going on. So you may feel like super, super like determined in your walk, but don't be so determined in your walk that you become narrow minded and you lose sight of other things. Like lately, I keep seeing posts about resting. I know I should rest, but the way my pockets are set up, I feel like I should work more. I should work a whole lot harder now than what I have been. It is not time to rest for me, according to my bank account and my bills. But I keep seeing messages to rest because rest is also work. So while you're in this space and place today, tap into that Capricorn energy of getting things done, but also be mindful to rest. We are building and things like that. And I know when a lot of us get started on a new project, it's just like, yo, I gotta conquer this project and get that shit done. Blah, 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 blah. Chill out, bro. You're gonna get the project done. Chill out. And that ain't nothing but that sun and Capricorn and that fiery Leo, all about me type energy. And this will also be where your self-esteem and your ego is lying, right? The sun is sitting in this Capricorn energy, and so your ego is residing in what you can get done, what kind of infrastructures you set up for yourself, what's getting checked off on your to-do list, and so on and so forth. So, while we're holding our our self-esteem in that energy, don't be so sucked into being that you fail to appreciate what you do get done and what you do achieve and all of that fun stuff. So moving on to the moon, we started the day at moon at 15 degrees 12 latitude in Virgo in the first house. And Virgo in the first house, and we'll be ending the evening at 29 degrees at one latitude in Virgo, still in the second house. The moon rise tonight will be at a wait. The moon rise tonight will be at 11:40 p.m. and will be setting at 12 o'clock p.m. So that's what we're doing. Actually, no, we're ending the night. Sorry, wrong page. Go back to the moon. Rewind. So moon tonight last at 12 a.m. was at 29 degrees 2 altitude, Virgo second house, and then we ended tonight at 11:59 p.m. at 12 degrees 58 altitude in Libra in the second house. So we're moving from Virgo to Libra energy in our moon, and that's fun. So so the moon is all about your insides, your intuition, your emotions, your feminine energy, how you interact with the feminine energy around you, your own feminine energy, women, things of that nature, women, animals, women, plants. Maybe you just don't like seeds and none of your stuff. You don't like all that stuff matters. All that stuff matters. So you're dealing with, initially when we started the day, we were dealing with the moon in Virgo. So you may have felt yourself waking up in anxiety like me. Yes, that is a trait of that. Waking up worrying, fussing, being fussy. Also waking up feeling organized and refreshed and wanting to get things done and getting things situated with and in its rightful place. Feeling analytical about some communications or a desire to want to learn and all that. All that is energy of Virgo in the second house. That second house being the house of finances and possession and values and resources of our self-esteem, tapping into that Taurus energy, okay? So we have two earth energies onto our moon. So we're just like really hanging on them pinnacles, especially with the sun being in the earth energy as well. So this morning you were really all about your money, really all about obtaining things that make you feel good, whether it's a compliment, a like on your page. Maybe you made a really nice picture or post today in hopes of getting that pleasure, your pleasure seeking earlier today. So that's what the moon was doing in Virgo in the second house. Now tonight when we end the day, moon is moving into Libra. And Libra is all about balance, right? Fairness and justice and balancing the scales. And we're still in that second house and how you obtain things that you find pleasure in, your self-esteem in, how you obtain your material values, and what you find value in, what you consider valuable. So with Moon entering the Libra energy in the second house, you definitely are going to find some balance in how you've been obtaining things. So if you don't want to slow down, that's fine. Tonight you're going to feel like slowing down anyway. Maybe having more comfort conversations and creating a balance. Maybe today will be a good time to have a conversation if you feel an imbalance in your workplace and your home, with your family, with your loved ones, with your partner. Today is a good time to speak on that balance and try to um, get a plan organized and in that space to create a fairness amongst everybody in your circle and within yourself. Definitely, it's a good time to go within yourself and say, okay, well, how have I been treating myself? Am I giving as much as I'm receiving? And not talking about other people, giving to other people and receiving. Are you giving to yourself as much as you're receiving from yourself? You wake yourself up every day in the morning, you get yourself going, you put your own shoes on, you feed yourself, you cook for yourself, you balance out your bills, you make sure you take your vitamins, you make sure you eat well. These are all the things that you're getting from you. So, are you putting back what you're getting out? Today, I took an extra long shower. I gave myself a charcoal mask, something that I've been like itching to do for months. I don't know why I stopped giving to myself the way I was, but today I did. I actually did have a conversation of balance, and this is before I even looked at the planets. I had a conversation of balance with myself, like, yo, I give to myself a lot. I wake myself up before my alarm clock even goes off. Do I thank myself? No, sometimes I might flex, like, oh yeah, I'll wake up when I wake up, and the sun don't even be up yet because I'm lit. Like, sometimes I flex, but like, am I giving back? When was the last time I gave myself a bath? Like, I take showers because I'm trying to hurry up and rush to the next thing I gotta do. I make sure I'm clean and I smell good. But when was the last time I actually took my time and just like soaked or like chilled or like, you know what? I'm gonna go sit over here and take my time and eat. I'm not gonna do no work while I'm eating. I'm not gonna respond to y'all messages because y'all message me all day, night, morning, all times of day, and I love it. I'm a Virgo. I love to be needed. At the same token, I can overextend myself with being needed, with being wanted, with being useful to people. And I like times to give it back. So today I took an extra long shower. I took my time. I'm still fasting. I haven't eaten yet. I feel an attitude kicking in, but we'll see. But like I don't eat until like midday or whatever, and I have my one meal of the day, and then I snack for the rest of the day. And that's just what I'm starting to become accustomed to. That's all. It's nothing crazy. Not a diet or nothing. It's nothing I'm intentionally doing. It's just where my body is taking me and how my schedule is taking me. But that's also another thing. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I'm telling myself that that's what I've gotten, used to because I'm so used to being on the move and working and da 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 da. Maybe I need to sit the fuck down and really sit down and have my meals and do things like that. Hello, goddess. Thank you for tuning in. That means a lot to me. Yeah, time if you've constantly given, it's time to give to yourself. I know a lot of us give and we be waiting for other people to give what we give them, but it ain't up to them. First of all, you choose to give to other people. That's something that you need to sit back and be in realization with yourself. Like me, I'm a giver. I like to give. Once upon a time, my giving was a bit toxic to me myself, mostly because I would give to people because I didn't like people's reactions to me saying no, because everybody was so used to me saying yes. But sometimes I was making shit up in my head. Oh, if I say no, they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that and they're gonna do da 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 da, and I just made up a whole fucking scenario in my head as to why I shouldn't say no, and none of that shit exists. I could have said no and it went well, or I could have said no and it went exactly the way I said it was, but oh fucking well because I did what I had to do for me. So that's something I had to learn in my journey, on my journey of self-love. And as you guys find balance in your life with this moon and Libra, you guys are definitely going to feel a need. When you wake up today, if you are not balanced, if you have been giving too much of yourself, you're going to be upset when you get a text message. Hey, can I have some? Hey, can I hold? Hey, can you? Hey, what you doing later? Hey, you busy? Soon as you see the subject, you're not even going to want to open that message. Why? Because there's an imbalance in your life right now. And your attitude is already telling you, girl, man, there's an imbalance here. Don't give nothing else the fuck out until you start pouring in this motherfucking cup. Like, you're going to feel it. And when you start to feel that, that is you telling you you're giving too much. You're pouring out too much. If it's to the point where you start to get an attitude with somebody who ain't got nothing to do with your attitude, asking you for something, it's time for you to draw back. It ain't got nothing to do with that person, whatever. It's you. It's you choosing to give too much. It's time to come back Bring that balance back. So we're gonna move on to the moon. I mean, we're already on the moon. We're gonna move on to Mercury. So Mercury, this morning when we started the day, hey Ja, we started the day at 24 degrees 31 altitude, Capricorn in the fifth house, and tonight when we end the day at 11:59 p.m. we'll be still in Capricorn in the fifth house at 26 degrees 10 altitude, and that's fun. So with Mercury, Mercury is all about our logic, our decision making skills, how we communicate, how we exchange information, how important exchanging information is to us. To some of y'all is, I don't really care about communicating with people, or I do. What you want to do is you want to look at your natal chart and find out what zodiac energy Mercury lies in your chart. And then when you want to get into creating horoscopes, what you do is, so right now Mercury is in Capricorn in the fifth house, right? My Mercury is in Virgo in the first house. My first house is Leo house. So I can say Mercury right now is in Capricorn. Mercury being that decision-making communication right now is rooted in shrewdness. It's rooted in that getting things done, materialism, manifesting, because Capricorn is an earth energy, right? Capricorn is all about manifesting and creating those pinnacles and getting those things done. We're tapping into the energy of Seker on the Metunetter tree of life. So we're tapping into that energy that starts labeling things so we can bring it into physical form, right? And we are at an imbalance in this energy. So it's pretty dope that the sun is in Capricorn and the moon is in Libra, because and then our communication is rooted in Capricorn, because now we can really talk about it. We can talk about our imbalance in materialism right now, right? Let's have the conversation since the stars allow it. So, you're going to have those conversations. You're going to engage in those conversations. You're aligning with me right now. That's aligning with relating the information to tell you that you're going to have these kind of conversations today. It's time to find a level of balance in how you're obtaining these things. You may also feel yourself feeling very ambitious in your communication, excited to communicate with other people about building things and creating a structure, creating some type of authority and things of that nature. That's that Capricorn energy, that cardinal energy, that energy of manifestation, that energy of getting things done and creating law and order and authority. You're tapping into it. Now, with my Mercury in Virgo, not only am I tapped into the Capricorn energy, but my Virgo energy says, hey, we're going to organize this shit. We're going to organize it. It's about servitude. I got a meeting tonight. See? I don't even know. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. So it's rooted in servitude. You're organizing it. You're analyzing it a little bit more. You may be even overthinking it a little bit more with that Virgo energy. Well, my Virgo energy. This is my horoscope. My Virgo energy blanketed over that Capricorn energy. So whereas I may feel determined and organized and having conversations in my intellect rooted in that energy right now. And my first house is Leo. I'm a Leo ascendant. So it's on the forefront of how I feel, the mask, my expectations of myself and of the world. And honestly, it fucking applies, because right now I'm in a space and place in my life where I'm trying to build some things and get some things going. And I am getting a little impatient. Well, because I'm waiting on other people who have things in order. I don't know their lives, but it seems like when outside looking in, they got shit in order to where they could take their time. And I don't feel like I can take my time right now. I have kids, I have bills, I have things going on. So I need stability. I need these things while you're dragging your feet over there because you don't have what I have. Like, I feel that. So, like, I can resonate with this. So maybe you can resonate with what I'm resonating with. We don't know. Let me know in the comments. Don't just be, you can engage with me. I like to communicate, and I will respond to you as I see them, because they don't always pop up on time. But when they do pop up, I'll be with the shits. But moving on to Venus. So we start the day off at Venus. It's at 25 degrees, 37 altitude in Sagittarius. We're still in that fifth house. So we're still dealing with the energy, that Leo energy of children and creativity and romance. This is our third energy planet, if you will, that's sitting in that confidence energy, that house of Leo. Because we have the Sun and Mercury in there as well. So tonight at 11:59 p.m. we're ending the day off at 26 degrees 52 altitude at Sagittarius, and we're still staying in the fifth house. So Venus is all about love and wealth and finances, what you find yourself attracted to, what you find pleasure, the need to get things done. Yeah, immediately. And it's a few more planets that I'm going to get into in a minute that we definitely covered like thoroughly yesterday as well. Um, that go hand in hand with that feeling of impatience. Venus definitely one of them. Venus is all about wealth and finances and attraction. It's all about what you find pleasure in and what your self-esteem is rooted in, right? Because if I can obtain the things I find pleasure in, yeah, that make me feel good, right? Like me, I like projects. I like projects. I like getting things done. I like lists. I like being organized and things like that. That's also where my Venus planet is in. My Venus is also in Virgo. So that's what gives me self-esteem. When I can write a to-do list at the beginning of the day and by the end of the day, I can check all those things off. Like I did all that. That makes me feel good. My self-esteem is high. I feel good. I want to go out. I want to chill. I'm like, you can't tell me nothing right now. And that's where I be at. You got to see where your Venus lies at so you can see what you consider valuable, what you seek pleasure in, and what your self-esteem is rooted in you obtaining or maintaining. And right now with it in Sagittarius energy, we're becoming very optimistic and adventurous about how we're viewing this Venus energy, right? A lot of us are changing dynamics and how we view love and relationships and how we obtain them and maintain them. A lot of us are being adventurous and optimistic and open-minded about how we're obtaining our wealth and our finances. A lot of us were business owners or stock holders or forex traders. A lot of us wasn't doing that, last year or a few months ago, so on and so forth. I still see individuals coming out with new, business ventures as they change up how they seek. Yeah, Venus is in Sagittarius right now. I see them, changing up how they seek and obtain the wealth, how they obtain their values. I see people changing what they consider valuable. Like I thought having all these materialistic things was nice. I thought having like a nice like setting for people to come and sit was what it was, but it's not. I'm materialistic, but I like it on me. Like I like to walk around looking like a piece of art. I like clothing, I like jewelry, I like those things, but I'm not like a name brand person. I like custom made stuff. I like telling people that, oh yeah, this was handmade. Oh yeah, this was handmade. Oh, this was like I like that. That's me. That's where I come from. So like, and that's what I like to obtain. And I also like to create it even more so because it make me feel good as fuck to say that I made this. I created this. When people say, oh, that's nice, I'll be like, thank you, I made it. I respond like that all the time. You stroke my ego. That's where my Venus lies. My Venus is in Virgo. I'm getting things done. I'm creating things. That's where my energy is in. So you have this Venus and this fired up energy, and then it's also sitting in the fifth house, and that's our fifth house of that Leo energy. Again, all about confidence and creativity and romance. So you have the planet Venus sitting in the fire energy of Sagittarius, which is all about being optimistic and open-minded and adventurous, but can also be impatient. So again, coming into what you're talking about feeling impatient to get things done, and what I've been talking about, yes, I have been feeling impatient about obtaining wealth and things like that. I'm also in a new relationship, and I feel impatient with myself in this relationship because I feel like I'm still healing from things that I was accustomed to in my previous relationship. So being in this new one, not to say like I'm, whatever, like I'm able to check myself and correct myself and stuff like that. But when I feel like I can't, see, I'm back at home, right? It's like, no, but like, it's like, getting used to things. And I am getting impatient with myself because it's just like this relationship is beautiful. And this is what I manifested. This is what I've been manifesting all these years. This is the kind of relationship I wanted. And now I have it. And it's just like, I'm still healing though. So it's like, be patient with me. My partner's being patient with me. So now I have to learn how to be patient with me so I can have what it is I manifested, what it is that I said I wanted. Ashe. And it's the same thing with my wealth and my finances. I've been manifesting being my own boss forever. I've been manifesting the courage to be like, fuck this job. Fuck needing this paycheck and getting this paycheck every 2 weeks because I struggle with it anyway. So I can struggle without it. It took a lot for me to get the courage to finally be like, yeah. And when I quit this job, I'm not going to go look for another job. I'm going to work for myself. That took a lot. And every now and then when, we know how businesses go. They be at their high and they be at their low. Well, lo and behold, right now I'm at a low. And yes, I'm getting impatient because I have bills that come around every month. They don't care if I'm at a high or a low. I have rent that comes every month. It doesn't care if I'm at a high or low. Nothing else in my life cares if I'm at a high or a low. And that's where my anxiety comes in. That's real shit. Fuck them jobs for real. Like, fuck them jobs. Like, I don't want to work for nobody else no more. To work a whole day, I have evolved my interaction with myself and my children and my family and my friends around this 8 hour shift. And I still got to wait a whole 14 days before I can get paid for it. And before I even get my money, other people get their money before I get mine. Like, that's crazy. I don't want to go back to that. At the same token, I need stability. And as trash as that stability was, it was stability. And that was my TED talk this morning to myself. Like, Nika, don't do it. Don't fill out a job application, because all that energy you're putting forth towards filling out a job application, going to job interviews, answering phone calls, buying the work clothes, because I have no work clothes anymore, and doing all that stuff, you could have been invested in your business. I don't. I just got clothes because I'm fly, but I don't have like business attire. No, I don't. And I always go for business jobs. I'm not going for no more labor jobs. I won't say it's beneath me, but I ain't about that life no more. Fuck that shit. But like, yeah, like I really had to have that talk with myself today. Like, if you go on Indeed.com today, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking throat, because that's the same energy you could be putting forth in marketing yourself and getting sales for your thing. So that's where I'm at. That's my TED talk for today on Venus and Sagittarius and that Leo energy. Moving on. So Mars, we start off the day at 12 a.m. Where were we at with Mars? We were at 29 degrees, 12 altitude in Aries in the ninth house. And we'll be ending the day at 29 degrees, 38 altitude in Aries in the ninth house. So, yes, we're entrepreneurs. And I'm trying to stay an entrepreneur and just stay strong in my work. And for me right now, marketing is my thing. Marketing and just having a space to do things without having to like come heavy out of my pockets. Like, it seems like every time I want to like have an event or host an event, because that's what I really like. I really like event coordination and things like that. And every time I want to do that, I got to come out of pockets hundreds and hope I get those hundreds back before I even make the money to get the rest of the supplies. Like, I have to pay hundreds of dollars for the space. We're not even talking about supplies. We're not talking about the marketing funds. We're not talking about the funds to get food to make it even attractive to people to want to come and pay tickets. Like, it's just a lot. And I don't mind it. I fucking love it. I love it. I just wish I had like a better cushion underneath for when things get hard. And I do get caught up in that wave of not getting what I put out, that imbalance there. Because for a long period of time, it was an imbalance with me in venues. I was coming out of pocket to be a vendor at these events, and I was not getting my money back. I was not in the crowd where people were willing to spend the money, and my jewelry is not expensive. It looks expensive. I get when people walk past my table, they be like, "Oh, I ain't even going to ask," and that's why I started putting my prices on the table, because it's not expensive. It's just like you got to stop and ask and have a conversation first. But that's what it is. That's it for my TED Talk and that energy. We are on Mars now. So we have Venus in that fire energy, and now we also have Mars in this fire energy as well. And if you don't know, when we talk about yin and yang, all planets have a yin and yang. So for every masculine planet, there is a feminine planet. All right. So with that being said, Mars is our masculine planet when it comes to desires and obtaining set of desires and being motivated and energized and things of that nature. On the other side of the game, Venus is that yin to Mars yang. So Venus is that feminine energy to Mars masculine energy. And so that energy does go towards desires and self-esteem and how you obtain those things and things like that. So when it sounds like I'm repeating myself, be mindful that we're talking about masculine and feminine energies. And we have our masculine and our feminine energy of desire and obtaining those of desires, and our self-esteem and all that is being rooted in fire energy. We have Venus sitting in that fiery energy of Sagittarius and Mars sitting in that fiery energy of Aries. And it will be here for a few more days. As you see, we're now at a 29 degree. So we'll be switching up the zodiac energies. But right now we fired up because in the ninth house is the house of travel and philosophy and higher education. So that's the house of Sagittarius energy. So we have Mars sitting in Aries in that fiery energy of Sagittarius, of expanding and being optimistic and open-minded and open-eyed, right? And we're doing that in traveling. And a lot of us are traveling in places we never traveled before. A lot of us are coming out of our shell with that. Especially like it's odd because we're in a space and time where it's like people should be more afraid to travel now than what they were before. But it's for some of you guys, it's the catalyst y'all needed. Like people are dying around me, things are going on, people are taking away our rights to do this. So let me do it while I can. And I respect both sides of the coin. Like that's what's up. Like, hey Ray, that's what's up. Keep going. We are changing the way we do that. We are also changing our philosophies, right? As we start breaking down some traumas in our life and some generational um issues that we starting to see and traditions we held on to that we're starting to realize, it's not for us, and we probably shouldn't have been holding on to that for as long as we had. We are expanding. We are seeing our energy and our motivation change, right? Because now we're changing why we're doing certain things, and we're also changing what we do. We're also changing up our desires as we switch up our philosophies. So all of that is fun and is good and is great. And with that being said, please be mindful of that impatience that you may starting to feel when you're sharing with others, when you feel like what you're sharing may not be absorbed at the speed that you feel like it desires to be absorbed, or when you start putting yourself out there, you start marketing and you be expecting like that first time around you put that shit out there for it to be like this crazy like reception and feedback and things like that. It's okay. Take your time. Before I started this video, I really had a whole talk with myself like, Nika, it is only the 5th of January. You don't got to trip this hard. All you got to do is go hard. Give yourself goals because we already know you can do it. And, just keep doing it. I really have to have those talks with myself because I do get impatient with myself. And when I get impatient with myself, I hold myself back from doing things, you know, like going to fill out a job application instead of sticking this shit through. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just keep pushing. Just don't get impatient with yourself and be mindful of your temper because we have Aries. We do have Mars sitting in that temper Aries energy, and it's also in that fire house energy of Sagittarius. So be mindful of your temper and stuff like that too. Jupiter, moving on to Jupiter. So this morning we started off the day at 3 degrees 44 altitude in Aquarius in the 6th house. We'll be ending the day at 3 degrees 57 altitude in Aquarius, still in the 6th house. So we're still not moving too much with the Jupiter. We're hanging out in this area. Jupiter, when I think of Jupiter, I think of like the cop, the friendly cop from The Simpsons, the don't do that kind of guy. Like, I don't really want to chastise you, but I will, but it won't be nothing too crazy. But we still respect this one, right? Gotta respect Jupiter. He's one of our big guys out here. All about generosity and law and luck and wisdom and tradition. And we have it sitting in that rebellious social energy of Aquarius, right? We know Aquarius energy is all about blowing that air, blowing that smoke, blowing you into wherever it wants you to go. And the air is always rebellious. When do you stand outside in the wind and not feel yourself being blown where you were trying to walk to anyway? Like the air is just like you're gonna go where I take you. And that's what we're doing right now, right? When it comes to the law, when it comes to traditions, when it comes to our generosity and how we're treating each other, a lot of us are getting into bartering. A lot of us are getting into just giving, just to give. Giving because you're my sister, you're my brother, and this is what you need, and this is what we're doing. And so, like, oh, I'm in Facebook jail. That's what's up. If y'all on Facebook, please share my video and let people know I'm here because I'm in jail now. But, like, yeah, so it's just like, it's all about, being rebellious and going against the grain. When we are doing that, like with all these laws that are coming out, we're still meeting up with each other. We're still going places without masks. We're still bringing our children in certain things because we're trying to remain true to ourselves and nature. And it feels like a lot of these laws and regulations and things that are going on are like pulling us further away from each other, pulling us further away from nature, pulling us further away from ourselves. Like, we spend a lot of time like away from people to the point now when we come around people, we don't even know how to be around each other. We're still in our phones. We're still like, I'd rather write this status and engage in these comments on this thread than sit in your face and speak to you with my phone in my pocket. Like, it's disconnects happening, and what we don't realize is that human interaction and communication is important, right? Because we're all about sounds. We're sound beings. We're from earth. Earth is heart. Heart is what? Sound. So we're all about sound. We're all about giving and receiving said frequencies. When you get into physics, everything is about frequencies. What is frequency? It is sound. We're all about sound. Universe. What does universe mean? It means one sound. We are sounds. So if you're constantly hearing sounds through apparatuses where the vibration of the sound is being manipulated stuff to where you barely can feel the vibrations unless you're like blasting your speakers, and even then it's to a level of distortion. Like that's no fun. That's no fun. Oh, here go my food.
Your dinner now?
Thank you. That's no fun, and nobody wants to. It creates a disconnect. Thank you. And people don't know how to interact with each other.
Right.
People don't know how to communicate, how to listen to receive rather than listening to respond to people and stuff like that. And that's not cool. My son is finally old enough to start making me food sometimes too. Isn't that fun? I don't have to make my own french fries no more, y'all. Yeah, I'm hungry. I told you I didn't eat today yet. This is it. So yeah. And then we're also in that sixth house, the house of health and wellness and daily routine. So the house of health and wellness and daily routine deals with that Virgo energy of getting things done and being organized and situated and so on and so forth. So we have this energy causing us to be rebellious, causing us to go against the grain, to do some things different, and change up what we seek as wisdom and what we hold in our minds as wisdom and how we treat each other. And we're being social about it, and I love it. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Saturn, moving on to Saturn. Now, Saturn is like the brother cousin to Jupiter. They're both masculine energies. Jupiter and Saturn are both masculine energies, whereas Jupiter is more of like a nurturing type of long tradition and things like that. And Saturn is more like RoboCop, get it done, do it now. The angles are more 90 degrees, or even more acute than the 90-degree Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little bit more strict in the Saturn energy. The Saturn follow up with Jupiter, like you wasn't listening to Jupiter, or why are you about to listen to my ass now? And we see that, right? Because in the cosmos, Saturn follows up after Jupiter. Now, all last year, they were both in Capricorn energy and they were living their best life and they were about a couple degrees apart. This year, we're dealing with them 1 degree apart. They're way closer to each other. In December, we dealt with them being virtually almost on top of each other. Maybe next year, they'll be even closer than that and be within a degree, like within the same degree of each other. We'll see. But right now, Saturn is also in Aquarius in the 6th house. We started off the day at 2 degrees 6 altitude in Aquarius in the 6th house. And tonight when we end the evening, we'll still be at 2 degrees at 13 altitude. Still in Aquarius, still in the 6th house. So we're still dealing with that social rebellious energy of Aquarius, right? That energy still telling us to come out of our daily routines, what we consider health, what we consider wellness, that Virgo energy, right? All that energy we were putting towards serving others and organizing and things like that. Aquarius is causing us to shake it up a little bit and change what we consider authority in our lives. Switch up and be rebellious against some of that structure in your life, because Saturn is all about structure and restrictions and challenges and fears and things like that, and detachments, how you detach yourself from people. Now, how are you going to detach yourself from people if this detached planet is sitting in the social rebellious Aquarius energy? You cannot. A lot of you Capricorns out there are fighting your urge to be alone during this time. You can't fight it no more. Bring your ass outside. The Aquarius energy is here. And it's causing you to come together. It's causing all of us to come together to rebel. Now, for some of you guys who aren't prepared, who are not structured and aligned, this can be scary for you. You may be interpreting this information totally different. You might be creating your bunkers now and planning to fly to another country and things like that. But that's also aligning you, right? Because we have that, what was that, Venus that was sitting in Sagittarius energy. Aries that was sitting in Mars that was sitting in the Sagittarius house. So yeah, your solution might be to pack up and ship out to another country because your mindset on traveling and foreign communication and foreign exchange has changed, which is what Sagittarius calls us to do. And that's happening, right? As above, so below. And it's very sounding. Don't be afraid of the God in you. Don't be afraid of the God in the planets either, because it's going to happen whether you're scared or not. The best bet is just to go with the flow. The best bet is just to go with it, what's going with. Because I bet your energy alone is not greater than the magnetic energy of Jupiter and Saturn combined. Moving on to Uranus. Uranus, we started off the day at 6 degrees, 45 altitude, and in retrograde in Taurus in the ninth house. We'll be ending the day at 6 degrees, 44 altitude, and retrograde in Taurus in the ninth house. So we don't really move much with Taurus. We're pretty much staying in Taurus in the ninth house. And actually, we'll be here for a few years. We started Taurus in the ninth house around election time when Obama came in office. We'll be here until about the next election. I get those mixed up. I want to say, yeah, that's what Uranus is doing until 2024. And with that energy being said, Uranus is all about progressiveness, right? It's all about progressiveness and change and getting you to shake things up and face truths about yourself. Face truths about yourself. Face truths about what things are going on around. Excuse me, little hiccup thing going on. Face truths about things that are going on around you and all that. Now, with Uranus and Taurus, we know Taurus is all about traditions and holding on to things and wellness and value. So again, we have another energy fighting to get us to see a truth about what we hold as valuable, what we've been rooting our self-esteem in, what we've been considering as wealth and love, and how we've been obtaining it and maintaining it. So we have another energy working in that space and place to get us to see the truth. Like, what you guys have been considering as what you need is not a need. What you have been considering as love is not love. And we see that a lot of people are revamping relationships. A lot of people are being true to themselves in their natal charts in their relationships. If your natal chart says that you need multiple people in your life, don't keep suppressing that because you're in a society of monogamy. Be true to yourself so you can stop lying to people and hurting people's feelings. If it says it in your stars that you're all about a monogamy, stop laying up with that polyamorous person. Stop hurting yourself and be true to your stars. You need monogamy. It's not for everybody. Polygamy is not for everybody. It's okay. Be aligned with your stars. You are in charge, but you have to act like you're in charge, or otherwise other people's ideals will always be oppressed upon you until you get up and say, nah, my ideals is where it's at. And I'm not saying your ideals is where it's at so you can start preaching and teaching and oppressing people. It's so that you can walk in your truth and do what you need to do for you without worrying about, oh, is this person going to hold my hand? Is this person going to oppose me? Is this person going to do this? Well, what rule is that over here? What regulation? Like, stop worrying about what other people doing. When you put your phone down and you turn the computers off and all that stuff off, you are in charge. You are in charge. You have to walk in that. Because if you don't walk in that, there's a whole lot of people that are walking in what they know to be in charge. I was in the temple Sunday, and I love the fact that the speaker on the temple told us, like, listen, Allah is with everybody. You can say Allah, you can say universe, you can say God. Please don't get caught up in my vernacular that you can't absorb what I'm saying. I really despise that. Let's be grown-ups with our mentality. Anyway, so Allah is everywhere. You can go outside to the evilest motherfucker and Allah will be with him. So you can sit here in yourself and be meek and be to yourself and be like, oh, I'm going to keep to myself, and oh, I'm just not going to be me, and I'm going to let these people with louder voices oppress me because this person has a badge and that person has this job and this person does that and that person is considered the authority. You can keep doing that and keep letting those people walk in the God in them, or you can own the God in you and say, hey, I'm somebody too. And what I say in my reality goes. Because there are people who like to walk in the God in them and use that God in them to oppress people. Okay? There are people who do that. There are people who do that. Embrace that and accept that. There are people out here who are doing that. That's what they want to do with the God in them. They want to impress people. They want to suppress people. They want to be in charge. They want to be in control. They want to do those things. And because they are confident in the God in them and what they can get done, guess what? They're fucking doing it. They're oppressing people. They're suppressing people. They're in control. They had slaves. They still got slaves. We call them employees. They got employees filling out paperwork that lawfully they should not be filling out just so they can get their slaves' money back. Okay? Let's keep it 100. There are people that are doing that because they walk in the God in them. You have to walk in the God in you so you can say, I don't like that shit and I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do this shit no more. But that's up to you. I can't make you do that. Nobody can make you do that. And nobody's going to make you do that. If I benefit off of oppressing you, what I look like telling you that you're a God to? If I benefit off of you believing that there's only me being God or me being in charge or me and being a boss, what do I benefit from telling you that God is in you too? What do I benefit from telling you that you can do it too? I don't benefit shit because I need you to keep taking from me. I need you to keep buying from me. If I make jewelry, what good do I make teaching you how to make it? Because then you can't buy from me because you're doing it yourself, right? That's the mentality that these people have. And that's how they're moving. Granted, I don't have that mentality, obviously, because I'm showing y'all how to fucking do it. I don't need to have that mentality. Because if there's more gods and we're all aligned and we're all on our shit, that's less that I gotta preach and teach. That I can go outside and run around with my kids and live the life I want to live because everybody around me has recognized the God in themselves. I no longer have to like be a certain kind. So it benefits me for all of y'all to recognize the God in y'all because that's less I gotta fucking do. It's less I gotta do. But like, yeah, people that are benefiting from you being low and you being an employee instead of an employer, and you being a student instead of being a teacher, or you being a consumer instead of a creator, they're not going to tell you how to do the opposite. And you need to learn how to see and respect the God in them and understand that that's where they're coming from. And stop taking it to heart. Everything about your emotions, let that shit go. That's the God in them. That's what they want to do with it. Respect. Ashe. Now I'm going to do what I want with me and mine. Right? Yeah. Okay. So that's what Saturn and Jupiter is causing us to do in that Aquarius energy. It's causing us to see that shit and rebel against it. And just like, you can be the wind, but you got to be willing to create what you need. Moving on. I don't know if you came in on moving on, Uranus, of that energy of Taurus, that progressive energy, and what we hold traditional. We went over that in the ninth house. What is the ninth house? The ninth house is the house of Scorpio energy. That's all about transformation. That's all about rebirth, death, and healing, and reconstruction and destruction. Also about secrets and unraveling said secrets. Also about power. Didn't I just get done saying all of that? The people that are recognize the God in them, they're going to use it to suppress, while some of them use it to teach, and some of them use it to use this. Some people use their God in them selflessly, while some of it use it for evil way. But either way, it doesn't take away the fact that God is in them and with them. So with that being said, like Uranus in that ninth house is causing a transformation in that power, yeah? As more of us come into our power, as more of us see where we are coming from, as more of us align with one another, like you guys aligning with me and communicating with me and showing me that we're on the same page, we're on the same frequency, right? It's shaking things up because we're coming together, right? That Aquarius energy causing us to be social and be as a unit rebellious. And with that wind energy, ain't going to do nothing but create hurricanes and tornadoes. And that's fun. Sometimes I like to see stuff come apart. And that's the Pluto in me. That's the Scorpio in me. See stuff fall apart. And that's what's going to happen with all that energy sitting in that energy of transformation. You're definitely transforming our traditions, our generational curses, the things that we've been holding on to, and how we obtain material things. And the material things we've convinced ourselves we needed. We don't need a lot of that stuff. All that packaging and all of our fruits and vegetables when we all should be growing our own food. If we grow our own food, we won't need all that water and all that land for a bunch of farms because everybody got their own little farm in their backyard. If you got your own little farm in your backyard, you got a better connection with your food. You know what you're putting in your body. You know what pesticides and stuff is being sprayed on your stuff. you got less issues. If you got less issues and my next door neighbor got less issues, it's less people going to healthcare systems. Ramen noodles. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I survived off of ramen noodles in college. I won't lie. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. I tell you, my stomach was fucked up though. Yeah, I tell you, my stomach was messed up though. I've been vegetarian since I was vegan for a few years, but now I'm coming back to it naturally. Since the end of November, I've been on my vegetarian walk. In the process of moving towards veganism, and let me tell you, my stomach has been like, I love you, Nika, and I've been like, Ashe, because I've been taking care of you. I've been putting in, and as I'm putting in, I'm getting what I need back out. My energy been great. I stubbed my toe. I ain't gotta wait till Friday for my toe to be back normal since Tuesday. Like my toe healed the same day I stubbed that shit. I was like, woke up with a kink in my neck. I had a kink in my neck all week. That joint was in there for like an hour, and then I was like, we out of here, baby, because there's not a lot of acid and all that stuff in my muscles anymore. Because I stopped. I was eating chicken and fish. I didn't go back to red meat. Not that it makes it any fucking better. It really doesn't make it any better. The way they treat chicken is just absurd. But like, coming back to like, yeah, my body has definitely been treating me better since I've been treating it better. And I share on that one times 1,000. Times 1,000. And that's another thing that Uranus and Taurus causes us to do. Right. Ramen is not our friend. Uranus and Taurus causes like our diets, things that we do on a regular basis. And things like, but that's also what Jupiter and Saturn is causing us to do, sitting in that 6th house of daily routines and stuff. Neptune, moving on to Neptune. Neptune is all about our subconscious, what we have that's beyond the 5 senses. That extra realm of things you cannot obtain, seeing, touching, hearing, smelling, and things. And we started off the day at 18 degrees, 32 altitude in Pisces in the 7th house. So we just feel really, really, everything is really spiritual. Like yesterday, I made a comparison to the rainbow fish. I like the colors of the rainbow fish, how everything is still essentially blue, but it's like a nice, like mystic blue. And then you have like that color change and things like that. So that's what I feel when I think of Neptune and Pisces in the 7th house. And we're still staying at the same degree at 18 degrees. We moved a little bit at altitude to 34 from 32. But we're still sitting up in that 7th house tonight when we end the day. And Pisces is about your intuition, how sensitive you are, your emotions, going inward, and all that stuff. And in that 7th house is all about your one-on-one relationships, their importance, the balance, coming back to that Libra energy of balance. Libra rules over the 7th house, yeah? So it's time to find a balance. And that's beautiful, right? Okay, so coming back to all the earth stuff we're dealing with our sun. So if you guys are not in tune with Capricorn energy at all, you don't have to be a Capricorn to be in tune with Capricorn energy. And that is our egos. That is our egos. Your zodiac energy that y'all be rolling around with is your sun zodiac energy, which is your ego. So all that, oh, I'm a Leo, that's why I'm a dickhead, or I'm a Scorpio, that's why I'm vindictive. Yeah, that's your ego. And that's why the Kabbalah, I touch all walks and talks of religion so that all of you guys can relate on different levels depending upon your foundation of vernacular. But that's why the Kabbalah calls us to recognize where our sun and our ego lies for correction. You're supposed to be mindful, not saying, oh, I'm like this because I'm that and that's what it is. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to recognize it for correction. And I love that the sun is in Capricorn right now because it's causing all of us, I love you too, my love, it's causing all of us to tap in. Capricorn is all about manifesting, bringing things into physical form. When we get into the netters, we're talking about Seker, which is all about bringing that word, that spell word that causes something like microphone. And now it's here, right? Screen. And now it's here, right? That's what we're doing. We're manifesting. I need money. So now I'm going to go get it. That's what the Capricorn energy is making us do. It's making us tap into like that manifestation energy, that manifestation communication on all walks and levels. And it's in our ego right now. Is it not? When New Year's came around, first of all, Capricorn season started what? Before even Christmas started. So when Christmas came around, I seen all of y'all pictures, y'all matching pajamas, the ridiculous outdoor decorations, the ridiculous indoor decorations, the boxes and boxes and boxes and bags underneath your tree. That is all Materialism. And what is that? We are in the season of pentacles, right? You're indirectly bragging about the materials that you have successfully obtained. Every year, businesses, this the fourth quarter time is when they start looking at everything they've manifested. This is when they come to themselves and say, all right, this is all the money we made. These are all the new products we had. Who bought what products? Who did da 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 da? Who did da da da? What we going to do in the beginning of the next quarter? This is the season of manifesting. We done sat here and bragged about everything. We done worked them doubles and triples and got the unemployment and spent it on all these fucking boxes under this tree and these matching pajamas. And then we get into the New Year's. And what do we do during the New Year's? We eat more. We're buying more food. We just got done eating Christmas dinner and all that fucking food and all that material stuff. Now we're into New Year's and we're eating more food. And now we're creating what? Resolutions for ourselves. Still manifesting. Some of us want more money. Some of us want another house. Some of us want to do this. It's still tapping into that Capricorn energy of manifesting. Now, what did I talk about in the beginning of this? I talked about balance because the moon is in Libra and it's causing us to find a balance in this materialism. We don't went the fuck ham in buying stuff, especially with us that are receiving extra funds. A lot of us have been receiving extra funds. And I don't feel like anybody should be ashamed about anything this government has given us since COVID started. Because at the end of the day, they have taken billions of dollars from us every fucking year. So the least they can do is give us a few hundred and let some of us be unemployed for a year while we try to figure out how to educate our kids at home. And that's my 2 cents because they take from us all the time. So please do not be ashamed or embarrassed that you are receiving from the government right now. This is fucking balance. This is balance. This is how the pendulum swings. The government has been taking since the government was developed. It has been taking, whether through employment, slavery, underemployment, immigrants, having them come over here and acting like, oh, I'm turning a blind eye as I hire you so you can go build these structures for me. And as I turn a blind eye so I can keep taxing y'all. And in the meantime, all the little people at the bottom, we're arguing with each other because we believe in whatever bullshit was communicated to us. But it's okay because Pluto is in Capricorn, baby, and all them secrets is coming the fuck out, okay? And so, we make each other feel bad for taking back from the government. Don't fucking feel bad. It's time to come together so we all can fucking take because they're always taking from us. And don't be making other people out here feel bad. You choose to do what you choose to do in your journey. You are your God. You are in charge. If you want to let this person be in charge and that organization be in charge and this government be, that's your business. If other people don't, that's their business. You cannot sit here and oppress your weak ass mentality on other people. Like, oh, you don't want to be weak too? Oh, y'all don't want to be obedient too? Y'all don't want to go get employment? Y'all don't want to keep giving back to God? Y'all don't want to do that? Then y'all less than me. Listen, you don't sound no different than the slaves on the plantation saying, I'm a better slave and master like me most. You figure deal me? All y'all did was change the vocabulary. That's all y'all did was change the vocabulary, but the argument is the same. It's time for balance. The moon in Libra is calling for a balance, and it will be in Libra for a day or so. This Neptune and Pisces in the seventh house energy is causing a balance. And where the sun is, that lies in our materialism, and where the moon lies in our spiritualism. The Neptune and Pisces is all about spiritualism and tapping in and getting out of that materialism. If you get into Metunetter, what they talk about is man's ills. Man's ills lie in Seker. Seker is the netter energy of Capricorn. Why do man ills lie here? Why? Because we get so caught up in consumerism and materialism and labeling things and what's better and what's worse and what makes me this and what makes you that and what did you obtain to be this and be that. And especially in our relationships and that Venus energy, oh, we can't wait to own somebody and be entitled and what we consider respect and disrespect. If you don't let me own you, you're disrespecting me. If you don't hang out with who I want you to hang out with, you're disrespecting me. Oh, that lady over there is titled as your ex. Oh, you can't hang out with her because that's her title. And that's disrespecting me. It's so much entitlement and ownership in how we have been conducting ourselves. And that's where our ills are lying. So Neptune says, hey, I'm sitting up in Pisces and we're going to bring that spiritualism back. And now you see some people fighting it. Some people like, oh, I see all of y'all with the candles and tarot cards. Everybody wants to be this and there. Yes, you goddamn motherfucking right. We, as above, so below. We're going in the direction we're supposed to be going in. Let us go. And that's what Pisces and Neptune energy coming hand in hand is causing us to do. Pisces is all about that intuition and going inward and being mystical and mythical and all those things. And that's what Neptune, it's that double energy in that seventh house. Again, a mystical fucking number. Like we're still in the mystic energy in our one-on-one relationships and balance and justice. There's about to be a justice in spirituality. We're going to find justice through spirituality. And I feel that. Especially like walking in my walk. And some of you guys might not always like agree with the Moorish Empire. But if you sit in a temple and listen to what the messages that they're trying to convey, it's not about getting rid of one boss for another. It's about realizing that you are your God. Okay? You are the boss. All right? And so, and with that, the walk, this is just me. You guys can come up to your own parallels as you listen to me. But the parallel that I'm making in my journey as I walk into, Moorish American knowledge and walking into a temple, when you walk into your nationality, the first thing you hear people say is get a trust, get a church, because that's the best way to put your money and your taxes and play around with that paperwork of that sense. There is justice through spirituality. You make the parallel you want to make from that. There's justice in spirituality. And that's what this Neptune and Pisces in the seventh house is bringing us to a realization. All right. So now we're going to move over into Capricorn. And I kind of like kissed on Pluto and Capricorn. I get hype about Pluto and Capricorn. I ain't going to hold you. I'm really hype about this planet. One, I love Pluto. I love Scorpio energy. It just, me being a Virgo, I always come from this like, I care about what other people think, and I don't want people to think that I'm this and I'm that. But the woman inside of me is spicy. She's spicy as fuck. And so when I think of Scorpio energy or Pluto energy or that 8th house energy, 9th house energy, I think of like that spicy energy. When you think of the Addams family, I think of the wife, like it's just like sensual and compassion and just like, but I'll air that ass out. Like I like that about Morticia. Like she would air that ass out with the most like poker face, like, and what you gonna say? I'll tell you about yourself to your face with the most like mundane expression on. And what are you gonna say? And that's what Pluto does. It's making transformations. It's destructive as well as healing. It's all about breaking things apart and building it back together, as well as taking some secrets. And we start off the day at 24 degrees, 19 altitude in Capricorn in the 5th house. And we're going to end the day still in Capricorn in the 5th house. We don't really move with degrees and altitude at all. Still at 24, but now at 21 altitude. And Pluto will be in Capricorn until 2026, I believe. So we're sitting up in this energy for some years with that transformation and that destruction and that rebuilding of Capricorn energy. So y'all can sit here and play the game. Y'all can keep consuming. Y'all can keep being materialistic. Y'all can keep making up a whole bunch of trash every holiday. Every November and December, y'all want to eat a bunch of food or throw away a bunch of food. Y'all got all these animal farms out here taking up all y'all water. Y'all got all these trucks driving across country when you can just plant your own food and have your own chickens if you need chicken that bad, and have your own fucking cow if you need a cow that bad, and put it in the freezer and all that stuff. Instead of being self-sufficient and tapping into the God in you and always relying and being a dependent, listen, Pluto gonna shake that shit the fuck up. And aren't they doing it? You got COVID out here. What has COVID caused? It's causing a shakeup. It's causing a shakeup in how we view authority. Once we realize that a lot of the protocols is more about control than it is about health. When you realize that a lot of shit that the healthcare industry is doing is detrimental to our health. When you realize that like some of the rules that the government is making is more in favor of the corporations than it is with us, and it's making secrets come out like who on the U.S. Senate office really worked for what corporation, and who really worked for that corporation, and who really doing this and who really doing that. It's really shaking some things up, and secrets is coming out. and things is like coming to the forefront of people's minds, and people's eyes is opening up about unemployment and about employment and about the IRS form. I had like a phenomenal message this morning. I woke up to some crazy information about the W-2s and 1099 forms and all those forms being choices and stuff, and us being like, aggressively sold, what these things are. And if you don't sign up for them, you're going to jail and da da da. I didn't know about none of that shit till this morning. I started reading and I started like cross info checking and all that stuff like that. That was crazy. And that was my TED talk this morning that I needed, because I was pissed about getting the EIN and the LLC. I was mad that I listened to the people around me, like, because it wasn't what I wanted to do. Again, people pleasing. And why the fuck was I people pleasing with my own fucking business? This is my business. This is my name. If y'all want to do something, y'all go do it with y'all own stuff. But it's just me, whatever. And I regret it. I feel like I let them back into my life when I finally was pushing them the fuck out. And I get some people benefited because some people, are able to teach it and treat it accordingly in their own reality. And like, kudos to you. I just don't see it happening over here. I'm not feeling it. Or maybe it's not, or maybe, my fire energy is going ham and it's just not happening fast enough. I don't know. I ain't there yet. But like, yeah, that was like a good talk I had earlier today. All that information is coming out though, right? All that information is coming out. What people have really been doing all along, all of that is coming out. And we're all, tapping into it. How to buy land. All this time we've been playing Monopoly and we've been playing it on a board when we should have been playing it in real life. And now we're playing catch up and we're learning about the different things. And for one, I think somebody needs to cough up some land to all of us. Half this country should be Black nation. Like, we ain't got to use the word Black, I know we get caught up in the vernacular. It's certain words that I'm just used to saying, and I apologize because I don't mean no harm when I use them. But like, we need half this country. Half this country should be ours, because I think it's fucking ridiculous that as an indigenous individual, before we move into another state, we have to make sure it's not racist. Because racism isn't just your next door neighbor. Racism is also the police officer, the teachers at your schools that your kids are around, the principal, the crossing guard that might just let your Black child cross the street while there's cars coming. Like, it's just a lot of nonsense you just have to be mindful of, and it's bigger than just your nasty ass next door neighbor being nosy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think it's nonsense that since this country has been made, we have had to move like that. And even in 2021, we still have to move like that and think like that before we buy the house that we want in that bomb ass neighborhood and shit. Like I just think that's trash. And then on top of that, now we have to deal with gentrification. So we have to deal with gentrification on top of the fact that we can't move out. Where does that leave us? That's crazy. Yeah, some things are owed to us. And that's great because the pendulum is swinging. And as we align and we tap into that Aquarius energy that's engulfing over that Saturn and Jupiter energy, we're going to make it happen. Because I know as I speak on this podium and I'm speaking to y'all, I'm aligning with y'all. And I know as I align with y'all, y'all aligning with others. And I hope y'all reiterate that message of the pendulum needing to swing. And we deserve half of this fucking country, if not 80%. Should be indigenous. It should be ours. And we shouldn't have to pay for it. Y'all shouldn't be out there scraping up y'all dollars to buy acres of land. It should be given. And we shouldn't be asking for it. And I love the fact that all of us feel like, even when I have conversations with people, I get irritated because I'd be like, I got to put my money together and I got to buy this land. And then I'll have somebody chime in and be like, well, why are you buying stuff? You should just go get it. Imagine me with my 14 and 6-year-old trying to be a squatter upon land and using the Homestead Act and the squatter laws. They're going to toss my little ass out of there and my kids going to the state. Now, imagine 100 of us on an acre of land. The fuck you think they're going to do without being seen? You see where I'm going with this? And that's okay, because if you don't, that Aquarius energy in the 6th house, that Saturn and Jupiter is chilling, they're going to make you see it before the year is over. You're going to see it before the year is over. We need to come together so we can get this shit popping, because all this saving up coins for our justice, you ain't doing nothing but working for the man for freedom. Same conversation, different language, right? How we had to work for our freedom papers. Yeah, we're still doing that. They just call it employment now. Same shit. They've gentrified our lives. We're writing our names in all capital letters when we write it on paper. That's not us you're writing about when you write in all capital letters. When you get them letters in the mail and it's written in all capital letters, that's not you. That's not you they're talking to. But you're going to choose to claim that person because you don't know no better. And that's my TED Talk for today for Pluto and Capricorn. Y'all can get up with me later about that if y'all want to get into more details. So True Node. The True Node is all about like your underdeveloped characteristics or your overdeveloped characteristics that you need or need to let go of for fulfillment in life, to be fulfilled, to get things going. And right now it's in Gemini in the 10th house. We started off the day at 19, started off the day at 19 degrees, 0 altitude in retrograde in Gemini in the 10th house. Not really moving much. We'll still be at 19 degrees, 39 altitude and retrograde in Gemini in the 10th house. So, underdeveloped, overdeveloped traits in Gemini. So Gemini is communication, yeah? Gemini is about those twins, getting things done as a unit, this, that, and the third. Now with the True Node in there, the True Node is causing us to work on our communication. We have to work on our communication. We have to work on our interactions with one another, how we interact. A lot of us communicate to respond. The whole time the other person is talking, you're just on the edge of the seat with the word in your head, and you ain't hear nothing that other person had to say. We have to stop doing that. Another energy that Gemini in this 10th house, the True Node calls us to do, is our tendency to take a piece of information and run off at the hill with it. We be so souped up in having multiple things. Now, the midheaven was in Gemini this year, okay? 2019, midheaven was in Gemini. Beautiful, beautiful. It was beautiful that March had a midheaven of Gemini. Why? Because people were losing their jobs. People were losing their jobs and losing their homes and going through all this shit with COVID, right? So with Gemini in that space, it was like, nah, we about to have multiple streams of income. I'm about to have 2-3 businesses. I'm about to have 2-3 forms of communication. I'm about to have 2-3 different venues of getting my education. I'm changing my logic around. That's what the midheaven and Gemini caused us to do, right? And we helped each other while we did it. We tapped into that twins energy. Ooh, thoughts on wives not doing their husbands. Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. All right. So, like, I have a vlog for that. Right now, this is my planetary forecast vlog, but I do an advice blog with my partner, Marcus. So I'm going to hold on to that. And when I do the advice column with Marcus, will probably be like Friday evening. We're definitely going to get into that. So if you want to send me a more detailed message on the advice that you need in that, I'll keep you anonymous and we'll get into that on Friday. I got you, love. But coming back into True Node, it's causing us to like stop taking like a little piece of information and running off at the handles. Like, you know, you see a meme or you read one article and we get excited. That Gemini energy causes us to have multiple things. And you may feel like you were rushing. We were rushing with time, right? We were rushing with time. We were rushing with the government. The year of the return to Ghana was in 2019, and we felt like we was rushing to do that too because now, you know, our rights of getting on a plane and going places was getting taken away from us, and it was creating a fear, and we had to feel like we had to hurry up and get all this stuff. My anxiety was on 1,000. Let me tell you, every morning I woke up and I felt like every morning I woke up in America in this house, I was doing the wrong thing. I should have been out in a fucking yurt in Africa somewhere, no job, no bills, no money, just living free. Like, that's how I felt. You know what I mean? Like, every morning I woke up like, ugh. And that was that Gemini energy. It was causing you, it was invoking that in you. Like, no, you got to do something. But now with this True Node in us, is telling us, maybe we went a little ham. Maybe we overdeveloped those things, or maybe some of us still wasn't listening. You know what I'm saying? So with that, come back a little bit. That first project you had, you half-ass touched, and you wondering why you can't market that, why you over here marketing 3 or 4 other things. Yeah, if you still want to market that, go back to that and give that the energy it deserves. Give your projects the energy they deserve so you can get them moving. I have so many fucking projects on my to-do list and so many things I want to get done, but I got to get this right first. I want to get this planetary thing right first with y'all. I want to keep myself aligned with this with y'all. I got to get this right. It's only the 5th. I only been doing it daily. I usually do it only on zodiac energies. So I did the zodiac forecast and something was like, you know what, start doing this every day. So now I do it every day with y'all instead of once a month. I've only been doing it for like 5-6 days every day. You know what I mean? I'm used to only doing this once a month. So the true note is causing me to like, no, get good at this. Keep doing this. Don't step into nothing else until this is done right. And it was the same way last month in December. I felt myself, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to get this done, I want to get that done, da, 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 da. And it was like, no, Nika, this is what's going on. I had to deal with Aunt Eliza passing, and then her birthday like 2 weeks later. Then I had my artist retreat, and it was like, no, Nika, stop focusing on your jewelry and da da da. Get this artist retreat done so it look good, so it's right. So it's 6 months from now when you get your artist retreat in the summer, you got everything. You're aligned. You know what to do. You know how to get it done. I like to coordinate retreats. I like to have events. I have a women's retreat in March. I have an artist retreat in the summer. I have a few events coming up. I have a Cosmic Nobody Konvention in August where we will be hosting our own award show. Fuck the Grammys, fuck the Oscars. We're going to St. Louis. And if you don't know, you better head on to my website and find out and start voting for your favorite people so they can get awards and we can start recognizing our people on these platforms doing what they do. Ashe? But yeah, the true note is causing us. Slow down, come back. You ain't got to communicate with all those people. You ain't got to have all those open-ended projects. You ain't got to be doing so much at one period of time. Stop listening to respond and listen to absorb and learn. All of those things. That's what the true note is causing us to do. And the 10th house is the midheaven house. That is how you reach your success. It's all about how you, reflect on yourself and what you deem successful. What's your highest point? How are you going to get there? How are you going to get there? By slowing down. You done showed us how fast you can be. Y'all done showed us y'all whole lives, especially if you live in the Northeast like I do, like up near New York and Philly. We done showed the world how fast we can move, how we created a whole new way of living. It hasn't even been a year yet, and we've created a whole new way of living and interacting with each other. That fast. Now we need to slow down and start tackling the details. So moving on to our ascending energy. Our ascending energy, we started off at 12 a.m. at 0 degrees, 9 altitude, and retrograde in Libra in the second house. Don't really move that much. We're still at 0 degrees, still in retrograde in Libra in the second house. Again, another energy causing us to bring balance into our lives, balance in our relationships, justice. Justice is coming, y'all, because the stars is creating electromagnetic energy for it to happen. I'm sorry, who am I? Oh, I'm not sure who that is. But who am I? I was about to start quoting Mulan. I am the great. But yeah, so that ascending energy is your mask. Who you are to other people, what you expect from the world and what you believe the world expects from you. And that is what the ascending energy is for us. So what we expect from the world is balance. And a lot of us are seeking that. And what's not bringing us balance, we are doing away with it. Are we not? I love the healing I see in everybody. And I love the fact that people are creating healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries is definitely a part of that balance. If this is not residing in what brings me peace, you got to fucking go. You got to go. And that's the mask that we're wearing right now for people. And it's a beautiful mask to wear. It's a beautiful mask to wear. And it's a beautiful expectation to have of people. If you do not add to my peace or bring me peace, you got to go. You can't be in my space. What balance are you bringing here? Because I know what I bring. I'm Unica Monet. I bring a lot of motherfucking things. I know what I bring. What are you bringing? And if you're not bringing what I'm bringing, you got to go. And that's the mask that I wear in this world. And that's the mask that, a lot of you guys see yourselves making and wearing, especially you guys who spent the beginning of the year in serving jobs. Like a lot of you guys came out into the woodwork and was like, I'm going to be a healer. I'm going to be a counselor. I'm going to be a virtual therapist. I'm going to be this, this, this. And isn't it tiring right now? Because you wasn't creating a balance, right? You were just giving, thinking that the few dollars you were getting in return was enough, but it's not, right? Because you're tired. I used to do natal tarot readings. I used to do that shit out my asshole all day long. Like, yeah, for $22, I do a whole natal reading. That shit was tiring. One natal reading takes my whole day. And it's not even just like the actual action of it. I have to do the research. I got to tap in. I got to take a bath. I got to set my altar up. I got to clean my room. I got to, get my mind right and my body right and all these things right. And then I do the reading. Then I got to close the window, clean my space, clean myself, take another bath, do all that. One time I didn't do it all. I went to sleep. And guess what? My period was on for a whole month. I had to go get cleansed so that my period can go away. Like, that's how in tune I am. So that's how I know what I bring to the table. I know what I bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? I had to start telling people no, I'm not in the space to do a natal tarot reading right now. I have an event going on. I got to make some jewelry. I got I can't give you the focus that you need because I know what I bring to the table. I know how strong my readings are. I know what my reading can do for you. And I can't give it to you right now because I just don't have it. Just learning how to bring that balance. You've been giving. Now it's time to, get back to yourself if you don't feel yourself getting back from other people. And also go on letsnobodiescollection.com, vote for your favorite givers, your spiritualists, your financial advisors, your business advisors, your life coaches, artists, music artists. Music artists have been pulling music, painters, everybody. Give back to your artists that have been giving back to you this year. Go on the website and vote so that they can win awards. And if they cannot be physically present to win the award, the same way the Grammys and the BET Awards and everybody else do it, we will have a virtual screen where the person can virtually be present and give their acceptance speech and everything else. We are setting it up the right way. We are going to be professional and it's not going to be fly. I'm telling y'all. Also, I'm supposed to be going to St. Louis sometime this month and not this month, next month, so that I can see the area and everything I got to do. I'm working on it. But it's going to be nice, y'all. I'm very excited. And this is our way of giving back to ourselves and creating that balance here because we have put a lot of different businesses and organizations on the podium, right? Warner Brothers and all of them that create the award shows and stuff like that. We put them on the podium and we said that they can oppress us. If we don't get into their award show, any other award that we win is asinine. That's how much we have not been trusting the God in us. Oh, yeah, I don't watch the BET Awards. But them Oscars and them Grammys, I'm going to show up for them and I'm going to wear this dress and I'm not going to show up for the Soul Chain Awards. I'm not going to do that. Or I'm not going to accept this little Reiki Dink award I won from this small business thing. But, if I get this award over here, your dreams and your aspirations involve white supremacy recognition. I want to be a musician so I can go to their awards shows and sit at their dinner tables and be in their music videos and work for them and be in their studios. Do you not understand? Do you not understand that some of you guys are only tapping in the God in you so that you can be oppressed? Don't do that. The true note is calling you not to do that. Your ascending energy that calls for balance and that Libra energy is telling you, don't do that. It's time to give and get. Give and get. A balance. A pendulum is swinging. The pendulum is swinging. Okay? Midheaven. The midheaven, we started off at 0 degrees, 11 altitude in Cancer in the 11th house. And we're still staying in Cancer in the 11th house tonight, or we'll be in the same energy at 0 degrees, 37 altitude. And our midheaven, like I said before, is our ultimate level of success. How do you reach success? Your most visible achievements in society, how you feel accomplished, what you consider as being your responsibilities. And right now we have it sitting in Cancer energy. It was in Gemini energy, but now we have it sitting in Cancer energy where we are creating more nurturing spaces. We feel good about creating nurturing spaces, whether it be for each other as adult, whether it be for our elders. A lot of us are creating nurturing spaces for our elders who are dealing with, things they're dealing with. A lot of us are dealing with losing money. A lot of us have lost money. And in terms of losing money, you lose other things, right? You lose money, you lose where you live, you your access to heat and all this stuff like that. So a lot of us are creating nurturing spaces on nurturing organizations and things like that and becoming those nurturing people that we feel the world needs so that people can have somebody to talk to heal with, to, to come to for advice and things of that nature, right? And that's what the midheaven is calling us. Creating nurturing spaces. Cancer energy is all about that feminine energy, that mommy, maternal energy, how you interact with maternal energy, how you invest in the maternal energy in you. And you could be a man and you still have maternal energy. How I know men have maternal energies? I have a fucking dad. And guess what my dad did when I was younger? He learned how to do hair and started putting me and my little sister hair in ponytails. And that's his maternal energy. And that is the manliest, one of the manliest men I know. But lo and behold, my man was in the parking lot brushing me and my little sister hair in a ponytail before he walked us into his job. Yes, you have maternal energy. You can create a nurturing space with your manly ass. It's okay. It's okay to tap into that energy. And it's important to tap into that energy, especially when we have all these spiritual women coming into themselves and coming into their masculine energy. And we have these women create imbalances. And if you want a certain kind of woman, you need to be a certain kind of man. So if I'm coming to you and I'm balanced in both my energies, I'm gonna need you to be balanced in all your energies too, bro. You can't be too masculine to be able to take care of a home just like I can. Because at the end of the day, we have to be realistic about all the situations that life could put us in. You never know. Your lady might fall ill. Your lady might pass away giving birth. And now you have this brand new baby that you have to turn on your maternal instincts. You know what I'm saying? Anything could happen. Your lady can get into a car accident and need you to be the sole provider right now. Anything can happen. So just because you're a masculine man or your masculine energy, don't don't do that. Don't sit there and put yourself in a box. Find balance in your energies. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't make yourself feel like you can't do things or I can't cook for myself. I can't make my own plate. I can't wash my own clothes. I can't do none of that. I need a girlfriend to replace my mother. Don't do that. And the same thing for women. Women that are not ready to tap in their masculine energy and be self-sufficient. You never know what might happen to your man. Your man might fall down and need you. You need to know how to pick shit up. What good are you if you don't know how to pick shit up? If you're waiting on him to heal so he can get back up and help you again. How annoying is that? To be the man or the woman in the house and feel like you have to hurry up and rush your healing because this other person who's supposed to be your other half, your partner, your helpmate, can't pick shit up when you're can't do the 80 when you're feeling 20. No. And stop dating people like that. Have conversations like that. If something were to happen to me, what would you do? What are you willing to do? You know what I'm saying? Have those kind of conversations. And it's definitely the time to have those kind of conversations, especially if you're already in a relationship. It's definitely time to have those. And we have a whole bunch of stars that are aligning to make those conversations happen. Because whereas you might be forcing yourself to be aligned with people you have no business being aligned with right now, guess what? That Aquarius energy that's sitting on top of Jupiter and Saturn, they're going to pull you right the fuck out of it. Because they're going to cause you to rebel. That Uranus energy that's sitting in Taurus is going to cause you to feel discomfort. You're not even going to want to be in that situation no more. I done sat up and woke up and went to sleep in the same energy every day, and I'm not getting nothing from it. There's no balance here. I have to be masculine and feminine here, and I'm not feeling the masculine and feminine energy from my partner. You're only feeling masculine, or you're only feeling the feminine while you're giving both. Yeah, that does something to you. Both are supposed to have and give both. I hate to break it to you. You can't have both and expect just to have one and the other. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. And I've tried it because I'm a very masculine woman. I'm very masculine. I was raised by a masculine woman. And I was ashamed of that for very long because men don't like masculine women. They want us to be soft and this, that, and the third. But like, I have to be masculine because what if something happens to you? Don't you want a strong woman that can pick up the shit when you're not feeling good, when you're not at 100, when your back is up against the wall? Or do you want somebody that's going to be like, oh, so what you going to do? No, motherfucker, don't nobody want that. Nobody wants that. You gotta be able to pick it up, baby. Pick it up. And that's okay. And that's where I got two sons. And I had this talk with my other son the other night because his dad likes to make jokes. Because I like I said, I'm masculine, but I like to be in control. And I love their dad, and we're still cool. But he's more feminine than I am, and so like where I take up and pick initiative, he does not. He's very lax and he chills. So he likes to make the jokes. Oh, happy wife, happy life. Just make sure she's happy. Da da da. And the only reason why he feels that way is because I was the one getting shit done, and I would complain. And it's get the fuck up when I start complaining because it takes a lot for me to get to that point. And now I'm complaining because I'm tired. You know what I mean? So I had to have that talk with him. Like, nah, you know, people make jokes like that because of their own insecurities and where they lack at, child. You are great, and you need someone who is just as great as your greatness. And if they can't match your greatness, then no, you ain't here to pick up nobody's daughter. You ain't here to save nobody's daughter. You ain't nobody's knight in fucking shining armor. So as soon as some bitch come to you with as soon as some queen come to you with some Disney fairy tale and she want to be this and you supposed to be, nah, it's time for you to walk away because you ain't nobody's Prince Charming. You are a whole being in search of a whole being. So y'all can be whole together. And that's it. And that's it. That's it. You ain't here to save nobody. You're not saving nobody. 2021, ain't nobody saving nobody. You gotta save yourself. If you ain't willing to tap into the God in you and save yourself, you don't deserve somebody that has the God in them and they're saving themselves. And that's how I feel. That's what I think. And I be saying that to men all day long because a lot of men like tap into my energy and the first thing out their mouth is, oh, can you teach me how to do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Can you do? Like a lot of these men want to be taken care of as far as the men that I attract in my reality because of who I am. And I also am coming from a place of healing. I lack boundaries. I like boundaries because I wanted to be liked. So yes, when I re-entered the dating scheme after exiting a relationship I was in for so long, feeling taken advantage of, yes, I was still attracting people willing to flex on my boundaries because I was still learning how to stand firm in my boundaries. So as long as you're not in the space and place you need to be to do things, you're going to keep attracting that space and place people. You know what I'm saying? So I kept attracting men that be like, oh, can you teach me this? Can you do that? Oh, can you? Because I make jewelry and I make clothes and I do all these things. They wanted me to make them a bunch of stuff for free. I teach Forex. I charge to teach Forex, okay? I don't teach it for free. This is my time and energy. And I need to make money because I want to be my own boss. Eventually, when I can start to afford to do things for free, I definitely will. But I would attract men to be like, oh, can you teach me? Can you show me how to do that? Can I call you every morning so I can trade with you? No, that's not free, baby. That's not free. We either going to date or you going to be a consumer. Which one you want to be? Because you cannot be both. And once I started to walk in that truth, let me tell you, I started attracting people that respected that. I started to attract people because the other me would be like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Oh yeah, I'll do it. And I would start to get an attitude. I was about to get at it. You would never know I had an attitude, though. I would keep it to myself because I didn't want you to think that I was being nasty or I was being mean or I just didn't want to help or I was being selfish with my gifts and my not. I didn't want to think that, yeah, I do it. But I was starting to get mad at myself too. Like, Nika, you don't want to do that. Nika, you don't feel like doing that. And eventually it started to get shaky. Now I'm not living up to the things I said I was going to do. I told you I was going to do that. I ain't never answered a phone call. I ain't never do da. All you know now all of a sudden is I'm ignoring your texts, I'm ignoring phone calls. Why? You done irritated me because you keep asking me for shit. And I done irritated myself because I keep saying yes instead of telling you no. I don't want to do that. I want a relationship where we're both whole. I have no problem with teaching you and guiding you and da. But if you can't teach me and guide me to do shit, I don't want to do shit for you. And I had to set that tone, and that's where I'm at in my life. Well, that's where I was. Now I'm in a more giving space now that I'm healing and I'm getting comfortable with my boundaries and the fences that I had to put up and build for those people that were going to come in and take whatever and leave. And I'm a little bit more giving now, and I'm a little bit more flexible in that space. I'm still learning how to be that way romantically in my romantic relationship, but I'm not there yet because I'm still healing from the person that took advantage of my lack of boundaries. So now that I'm dealing with someone, I have to remind myself, hey, you're with a whole person now. This person gives to you just as much as you give. You ain't got to be that Nika no more. So, it's a process. It's a process. And guess what? That midheaven is causing you to get on your process. Okay? And that was my TED Talk for today. So now we're going to move on to Lilith. Lilith is all about your suppressed. What do you suppress about yourself? Sexually, mentally, desires, what triggers you, what pisses you off? What are those things about you that you keep to yourself? Thank you, love. I am healing. I'm healing the best way I can, and Hopefully, I'm aligning, in my love life with someone that understands that I'm healing. And we do have great conversations, because he's healing as well. So when we both get caught up in our things and in our reality, we communicate them. And it does feel good. It feels better than keeping it in and being in my head and creating scenarios in my head like, oh, what if he thinks I'm being weird? Or what if he thinks I'm being selfish because I said no? Or what? And then I have the conversation and it's like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And we're both doing it to each other. So it's fun. It's fun. I'm aligning and it feels good to align. And I'm also trying not to be entitled to thinking that like, oh, well, this is it. He has to be with me for the rest of life. Because we might just be with each other until we heal. This just might be a healing stone and we have to be okay with that. And I'm trying to be okay with that. At the same token, not move like all I got is me, because that's a bad trait in me too. Because I am so masculine, I'm very independent to the point where I'll be so independent I could push you away and not even try to. I just always move like all I got is me because that's what I'm used to. And yeah, that's a little insight on me, on my healing and my process. But yeah, the Lilith is all about the things we suppress. And that is something about me that I suppressed, my independence. And I was not doing a good job at suppressing it, but I definitely was trying to, because I know like men like needy women. Well, the men I dated like needy women, but the way they needed to be needed, I didn't need anybody for. I need men or people for different things than what people wanted to be needed for. But yeah, also like your suppressed sensuality, those sexual conversations you're a little too embarrassed to have, because it's like, dang, you ain't gonna be with the shit. Yeah. See, yeah, I will get into detail with that, but again, this is my Lilith we're talking about now. And it's a lot of conversations that I don't have, especially when it comes to sexuality and sensuality, that I'd be like, this person not gonna be with the shits. And so I keep it to myself. But right now it's in Taurus. We've definitely been suppressing how we receive love. And I've had this talk with the other planets, right? With Taurus in the 10th house, again, coming back to that midheaven house, telling us that, if we conquer what it is we've been suppressing about ourselves, we are going to reach that level of success that 10th house calls us to reach in this Lilith energy, right? So Taurus is all about our wealth and our value and our love, and how we've been obtaining those things has been incorrect, right? Towards us. If you're not in tune with your natal chart, if you're not in tune with yourself as a person, you're going to constantly be suppressing yourself based upon what you think other people want you to do and behave. Yeah, you're at work. I'm suppressing myself because I got to put on this phone voice because I feel like this is the way y'all want me to talk. I'm suppressing myself and I'm wearing this clothing because we have to wear a uniform, or this is what professionalism looks like, or I have to wear my hair like this. And if I'm in this relationship with you, I can't be too masculine or too independent because that hurts your ego. But this is how independent I want to be. This makes me feel good. This is my comfort zone. And I don't want to apologize for this. I want you to be so comfortable in yourself that you're not bothered. And I don't want to have to suppress how I am or how I think. I don't want to suppress my love language of servitude. I like to be dominated a little bit. I don't want to suppress that about me. I'm such an independent masculine woman, it kind of turns me on when a man feels masculine enough to dominate me. That's a turn off. That's a turn on to me. I don't really communicate that often. I don't communicate that often because to other people listening to it, it might be a little weird. Like, what? You don't like when people tell you what to do, except for when they're telling you to get on your knees. Like, it's a little different, but it is what it is. And so this Lilith is causing you to come into one with the things about yourself that you suppress. What is it about yourself that you are keeping away from your family and your friends? What are some things that you are keeping away from yourself that you've convinced yourself, oh, I can't do that, or I can't be that, or I can't try that, or I can't go there? But you feel that burden in yourself. You feel a burden in yourself. I want to go. I want to try that. I need to do that. Yeah, stop suppressing that. Go with it. Do some shadow work. Do some shadow work. Do some free writing or free talking to yourself, and just talk about all the things you want to do and how you want to do it and how you've been suppressing yourself, and apologize to yourself and become one with this Lilith energy. And tonight, when we end the day, we're going out of that Taurus energy of wealth and value and materialism and love and all that fun stuff. And we're going into that Gemini energy of communication. So you're going to talk to yourself either way. And you're going to talk to yourself either way. You're going to tap into that Gemini energy of twins, of that relationship, of how important relationships are with you. And I'm not just talking about romance. I'm talking about at your job. I'm talking about your friends. I'm talking about your family. You're going to come into how flexible you have been. Maybe you've been suppressing how flexible you can be because it might hurt other people's feelings. Like maybe you're in a very suppressive relationship and they're like, I don't want you to be friends with that person, that person, that person, that person over there. I don't want you talking over here. I don't want you going out over here and over there. But your Gemini energy, like, nah, I want to be everywhere. I still want to be friends with my exes. I still want to be friends with these people over here. I still want to have opposite sex friends. I still want to go over here and do that. I'm very versatile. I'm very flexible and I want to remain that. But maybe some things and spaces and places in your life are telling you you can't be versatile. You can't be flexible. Keep making that same kind of music you was making. Keep painting them same kind of paintings. Keep loving me the same way you were loving me since day one. Keep doing all of those things, right? Don't allow yourself to be repressed no more in them areas. Come out of yourself. It's all right. Communicate those things and apologize to yourself because this is how you're going to reach success. This is how you're going to get some things done by, coming out. Come out a little bit. So our Chiron, Chiron, we started off the day at 5 degrees and 8 altitude in Aries in the 8th house. We're going to stay in Aries in the 8th house. We're still going to be at 5 degrees, but we're moving up 1 altitude from 8 to 9. Nothing special. So we have Chiron sitting around our Mars energy, right? And we talked about Mars energy being engulfed in fire in that Aries energy in that Sagittarius house or whatever. And now we have Chiron and Aries energy in that house. And Chiron is all about healing. It's about healing on a social level, an emotional level, a spiritual level, a financial level, a physical level, a mentally, psychological. Everything is all on healing and what you consider as your wounds and your strengths, okay? So with this energy sitting in Aries around Mars, which is all about motivation and energy and getting things done and putting that fire up under your butt and being optimistic and stuff like that, you find yourself motivated to heal. You are very motivated and fired up in your healing. Be patient with yourself. We got a lot of fire energy going on around desires, your self-esteem, and your healing, right? Because we have Venus sitting in fire, we have Mars sitting in fire, and now we have this energy of I believe this is considered the asteroid. Chiron is considered that energy in Aries energy as well. We have a lot of fire energy going on. You feel motivated. You feel rejuvenated. Hell yeah, I'm gonna start that health plan. I'm gonna go ham in the gym. I'm gonna lose all this weight for the spring and summertime. Shit about to be lit. I'm about to get my money saved up. I'm about to do all these things. You feel so motivated. We feel so motivated in healing ourselves financially, right? I'm gonna fix my credit right now. I'm about to build that business credit right now. I'm about to heal this relationship right now. You feel like you about to do everything right now. I would love to be healed right now. I have lived 30 years in pain, and I am spending my first year in really, really focusing on healing. Like before I would share the memes and new me, new year. I wasn't fucking healing, bro. I was putting on the show because I was still being phony around people. I wanted to tell to kiss my ass. I was still forgiving people that I wasn't ready to forgive yet because I cared about what they thought. I was still being nice to motherfuckers I didn't like because I care about being a better person in your story than I care about being a good person in my own story. Like I was really not liking myself because I was really being a phony bitch. I was a phony bitch, trying to be liked by everybody, trying to be the good guy, trying to be nice, trying to be giving. I was a phony bitch. Talking about healing. No, right now I am healing. And let me tell you how many people do not like me. And I am okay because I am healing. And I'm finally telling people to kiss my ass. And I'm finally putting up them healthy boundaries and all that doormat shit and the people pleasing shit. That shit is dead. And I'm saying no. And I'm not showing up. And I'm not explaining myself when I say I can't show up. And I'm not giving you this fake ass apology when I can't show up because I'm not sorry. And if I make another plan with you, I might not show up again because I just don't feel like it. I'm tired. I got kids. I got jobs. I got businesses. I got stuff to do. I am standing in my motherfucking truth. I am learning how to be selfish and find a balance in that selfishness and that selflessness. And it feels good. It feels good. And it's aligning me with people who do the same thing. And it feels good to be with other people that can understand why I didn't show up and why I'm probably not going to show up again. And it feels good when that person don't show up and I understand and they can have a conversation with me and we can build because they could be like, dang, I thought this conversation was going crazy. And then we could really empathize and relate because I'm be like, nah, it's not. Because let me tell you how I used to say yes to motherfuckers when I wanted to say no. Like all of that. Like you really start to align with people. You really start to align with events. Now I'm aligned with shit where I don't have to be on fucking time. I can show up when I want to. And y'all good. And everybody knows Nika is coming. And everybody trusts that Nika gonna do what she gonna do. Ashe? Yes, it is good when you on yourself. It is good. When you speak your truth, it is good when you on yourself because you're gonna find people on themselves and it's gonna work. It always works even when you think it's not gonna work. Please take your time and your healing. It's gonna happen. It's sitting in this fire, and I know y'all feeling good, and y'all just want to put a post up so bad that says I'm healed. I know y'all want to put that post up so bad. That picture, that new 2021 picture that shows you healed. I know y'all want to do it. It's okay. Don't get impatient with the process. Don't get impatient with your progress. Pat yourself on the back every night if you have to say, hey, Nika, hey, self, hey, Nature, I did this and this and this and this and this today. So when I close my eyes, I'm closing my eyes gratefully because I did this for me. Be patient with yourself because that fire is getting it done, but that fire is also causing you an impatience. And we all know how we feel when we feel impatient. We all know the different emotions and physical responses impatience brings us. Now you're quick-tempered. Now you're nervous and you feel anxious. Now when anybody puts anything else on your plate, it just makes you, because you feel so impatient and feel like whatever it is that's already on your plate to be healed needs to be done. You wanted it done yesterday. I wanted to be healed last year. I wanted to be healed so that when I walked into this space and place in my life, I can sit here and talk to y'all and be healed. And it sounds like Sadhguru. I could sound, but no, I still sound like Nika from Jersey. I still sound like Nika that went through some shit. That's still going through some shit. That's still healing and real. Sometimes as I sit here and talk to y'all and I be free talking, shit, thoughts come to me, smack me right in the face as I talk about these planets with y'all like, yeah, Nika, that's for you too. Like, yes. And I wanted to be healed in this moment, but I am not. And it's okay. I am healing. I wanted to be already healed when I entered my next relationship that I took seriously. Yeah, I dated. I dated for a while. And I finally met somebody that just like, oh my God, it feels like I met you before in a different life. Who are you? Why are you so perfect? What the fuck's happening? Like, and I wanted to be healed already. I wanted to walk into this relationship and be healed. I wanted to be fucking perfect. I want to be a Stepford wife from the 50s. I want to do all that stuff. I want to be able to do everything. But I'm not healed yet. But and it's okay, because I can have that conversation. I'm so in line with myself. I can have that conversation and say, hey, I'm used to this. And this is why I'm used to it. But I don't want to stay that way. When I say what I'm used to, I'm not saying it because I want to stay that person. I want to stay this independent masculine. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I recognize that in me. And I want to be different. I want to be a little softer. I want to be a little softer. I want to be a little bit more feminine. So you feel me? Like, I want to be those things. I'm on the path. And sometimes I have to tell this masculine man, I'm sorry that sometimes I get narrow-minded with my independence and I forget to utilize the words that include you the way you need to be included. Because I'm so used to doing shit by myself. I'm sorry. Sometimes I apologize. Sometimes I take some, especially when I hear this man speak, because every time he speaks, he includes me and my kids. And I'll be like, damn, this nigga really fuck with me. Oh shit. I gotta get my shit together. And then sometimes I get impatient, but I can't get impatient because he's where he's at in his life and I'm at where I'm at in mine. That's not fair neither. Be patient with yourself. And that's what this healing energy is causing us to be. Be patient with the progress. It's going to come. Your healing is going to come. And you're never going to be fully healed in this plane. You're never going to be fully healed. It's always going to be some trauma coming and some healing coming after. It's like, bop, 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 bop. That's what it is in this life. And that's okay. Embrace it. Take it. It is what it is. So we're moving into Ceres. Ceres is the energy of health and nutrition and agriculture, fertility, how we deal with loss and grief, how we interact with parents, how we interact with children, etc., etc. And right now, we started off the day at 13 degrees, 18 altitude in Pisces in the seventh house. We'll be ending the day at 13 degrees, 37 altitude in Pisces in the seventh house. Again, another energy in Pisces in the seventh house. Um, Ceres is actually the feminine energy to Jupiter. So Jupiter is a masculine energy. Ceres is the feminine energy to that, which deals with nurturing and protecting and law and tolerance and generosity and things like that. It's sitting next to Neptune, which Neptune we talked about is the energy beyond all seven senses, is that subconscious, that spacey, mystical energy, right? So we have been dealing with this, yeah, as above, so is below. So when we were dealing with COVID and we were dealing with quarantine, we were dealing with all these things, a lot of us chose the spiritual realm, the spiritual route. And when we went the spiritual route, what did it do? It brought us into a balance about eating. I remember, one of my commenters saying something about going vegan, being vegan and things like that. A lot of us are making the decision to go vegan now. A lot of us are, we were slow to start. We didn't start off COVID vegan, but now we are. Or not just vegan, some of us vegetarian. Some of us are just making more conscious decisions with how often we eat meat. If you haven't seen the documentary Game Changers, I highly advise watching that. That is a real one. Um, it also deals with, how we have lost people. A lot of people lost people. We just got out of Scorpio season. I know hell of people die in Scorpio season. Hell of people die in Sagittarius season. Hell of people die on New Year's Eve like it's no tomorrow. And I especially recognized that when I started working in the healthcare field. I didn't realize how like the stars are so aligned until I started working in healthcare. And I was working at the facility I worked at, one side was long term, one side was a dementia unit, and then the unit I worked in was acute care, rehab. You leave from the hospital, you've been in the hospital bed for a few weeks and you need to get back moving and moving, you would come to my unit. And so just being in that unit and just seeing how many people would die in Scorpio season, in addition to the fact that people in my family die a lot in Scorpio season and Sagittarius season, that's the time of year where people in my family die. So it was just like, seeing that and seeing it being reflected into like life on that level, like, hearing about people dying in hospitals and in different nursing homes in the area that I worked in, it was just crazy. Like, wow, we are really aligned. We are really, really aligned. And so Ceres, after we got done dealing with the death of Scorpio and Sagittarius energy, and now we're in Capricorn energy and we're coming together and piecing stuff together. Like a couple of celebrities I really like Luke Harper. I'm a wrestling fan. Luke Harper died. Like, fuck. MF Doom. I love MF Doom. Wow. How the fuck did that happen? Like, just a lot of stuff. Like, and now what Ceres is calling us to walk into spirituality to learn how to deal with these things. Yeah. Learn how to deal with your nutrition through spirituality. Learn how to deal with your health through spirituality and going inward, because Pisces calls us to go inward and go and tap into our emotions and our intuition. Yeah. So going inward and doing all these things, also tapping into those who want to deal with fertility. Doesn't necessarily have to be having a baby. It could be producing any type of thing, being a fertile space for anything. I like to be a fertile space for businesses. You come to me with your problems or your business things, and I like to create and make things and make a business baby with you. I'm always making song babies and art babies with people and collaboration babies. Yes, Luke Harper, like what the, that's crazy. And also how we're dealing with like our interactions as parents, with parents, as children, and with children. And that's changing too, because this Monday that just started, some of us who have children, we put our kids restarted back school. I don't know what school looks like for you guys now, but for right now, school is still mostly virtual for my sons. I recently linked up with someone who has a school curriculum. I personally would like to pull my children all the way out of the public school system. It just doesn't work. It's not working. Granted, I love that it gives my youngest son something to do for a few hours where he's sitting on a computer screen, he's talking to the teacher and the kids. I like that part, but I can easily be a part of a community and we can have things and bring our kids together and he can still have that on a better level. Like he doesn't have to sit in front of a computer screen to have that. Like that's absurd. And it's absurd that my mind is even going. And it just goes to show like the indoctrination I'm still healing from the public school system. Like I was a straight A student. I super gave a fuck about school. So like it's like a heavy indoctrination that I'm letting go and realizing that my sons don't do well in the same system that I was fucking like wiping my ass with. Like I do this shit in my sleep. This shit easy as hell. My kids are struggling. It doesn't work for them. And it's just coming out of that, you know? And that's something that I gotta come into with. As I become more in tune with my spiritualism and become more in tune with the God in me, the confidence as their mother is coming into play. The confidence of me educating them versus a public school system educating them is, changing. So yeah, that's just me finding a parallel with the Ceres energy. As I walk more in my spirituality, my healing is becoming better. How I deal with things is becoming better. My interactions with my parents is becoming better because I'm starting to realize how old they were when they were dealing with certain shit. Like they were way younger than me dealing with having 3 kids. like what the hell? Like it's just like things like that. Like, just come into yourself and also tapping into that Libra energy that Ceres is calling us to tap into, which is again that energy of balance. Yeah. Palace. Palace, we started the day off at 9 degrees 14 altitude in Aquarius in the 6th house, and we'll end the day off at 9 degrees 34 altitude in Aquarius in the 6th house. Now, Palace is the feminine energy to Uranus. So Uranus is that masculine energy about being progressive and causing change and, seeing truth and progressiveness. Well, Palace is the feminine energy of that, causing a rise in consciousness. And Palace is also sitting in Aquarius energy in the 6th house. So you have Jupiter, Saturn, and Palace all sitting around in that 6th house energy of Aquarius, causing us to seek truth and find change and be progressive. It's further amplifying that energy of change, amplifying that energy of rebellion, amplifying that energy of being intellectual and us coming together and organizing rebellion. And I definitely see that. As a lot of us look in the past, if you look every 100 years, like in the 1920s, we dealt with the Spanish flu, we dealt with prohibition, we dealt with speakeasies, we dealt with Tulsa, we dealt with all those things. And we looked at what we did wrong in the 1920s. In the 1820s, we go back to the 1820s, we're dealing with certain movements and equality and all that fun stuff and things like that. But we see what we did wrong in the 1820s too. 1720s, we seen the people rebelling and finding the country and things like and stealing from other countries to come build this country and things like that. But we see what went wrong then too. So now we're in 2020. How are we going to repeat this next 100 years? Because understand that even we are in charge. Tap into the God in you and know that just that 1% that we keep giving all the power and glory to, like, oh, they run a game, they're going to get us to take vaccines, they're going to change how we interact, we can't do this, we can't do that unless we have a shot. Understand the same power that those people have, we have too. Understand that the power that those 1% people have, we have too. Money only has the power that we give it. So if you want to let those billionaires be able to walk into your establishment and buy this, that, and the third, that's your business. That is what you allow. If you allow these celebrities and these people that have this, that, and the third come into your mind and suppress you and oppress you and make you feel depressed and make you feel self-conscious about yourself and your body and your mind and your success, then that's what you're going to do. But know that you are the God that did that, not them. Nobody did that to you. So you had these 3 energies sitting in this Aquarius energy, and it's causing us to tap into that God in us at a unified matter, yes? Because Aquarius energy causes us to be social. So if I'm going to sit on my podium and be social and speak with y'all about this rebellious energy, y'all going to bounce back and comment in the comments. Yes, we out here being rebellious, and we're going to align. And y'all going to align with we all align with on y'all podium and so forth and so forth. We're going to do the shit. We're going to do this shit because as above, so is below. So you can fight it. And as you fight it, we know what happens when you fight the universe. It's going to happen, but now you get punched in the face while it's happening. So you pick and choose how you want it to happen, Ashe? So Juno, we start the day off at 5 degrees 32 altitude in Sagittarius in the 4th house. Tonight, when we end the night at 11:59 p.m., we're going to be at 5 degrees 50 altitude in Sagittarius in the 4th house. So, Juno is actually the feminine energy to Pluto. So while Pluto is all about transformation and destruction and releasing secrets and power and things like that, Sagittarius is also along the power of transformation and power and secrets and things like that. And that's the feminine energy of it. So it's about going inward with it, whereas Pluto is all about the outward side of it. So Juno is in that fire energy. So you have Pluto on the outside in that cardinal energy of Aquarius and taking charge and taking initiative to get that alignment done and get those secrets out there and transform that on the outward sense. You got Juno working on transformation inside. And again, we have that fire energy. Please be patient with yourself. Because while you on the outside in that cardinal energy taking initiative, you on the inside creating transformation with that fired up energy. Again, this is going hand in hand a little bit with that Sagittarius energy of Venus. Changing what you see, what you find your self-esteem residing in and things like that. Please be patient with your healing. Be patient with your processing. Your progress is coming. It's coming. It's coming. The transformation is coming. The healing is coming. You have to be patient. Please be patient. Because you got the Chiron in Aries. You got Ceres. You got Juno in Sagittarius. You got Venus in Sagittarius. You got Mars in Aries. Let me tell you, if you are not patient with yourself, you are going to be quick-tempered. You are going to flick people off like that because you are not being well within yourself. You are letting that fire engulf you. Be mindful, be careful. And don't be impatient with other people healing either. Because you're impatient with yourself. Don't start reflecting on other people like, well, at least I healed that part of my life. You ain't healed that. So you're beneath me now. And like, I might not be emotionally intelligent. I may not know how to submit to a man, but at least I know the planets. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't start being nasty towards other people's growth and where they've grown, because they might be more of something in an area that you're less of something. So don't be impatient with other people's journeys either. If you have children, especially if you have adult children and you're on your spiritual path and you're trying to relay the information, if you're a child and you have parents and you're on your spiritual path and you're trying to get your parents on board, like, don't get impatient with other people's journeys. All you can do is just have communication, have those conversations, but understand that may not be the tribe you vibe with. When you tap into this Aquarius energy and you start aligning and becoming social with, it's probably not going to be with the people you thought you were going to be aligned with. The people that I ended up aligning and building things with, I just met in September. I didn't know these people. And I've been trying to align and build these things with family and friends for decades. For at least a good, not decades, I'm not old enough yet, over a decade. I've been trying to build the same concept with certain people. And just this September, I finally got the people, and it is not one soul is somebody that I had intentions on building with a year ago. Not one soul. I'm not mad. I'm aligned. I'll admit I was a little disappointed, and even now, so I still, try to bring those people on, and that's still me trying to, I guess, whack myself out of alignment, trying to rush somebody else's thing. You see how as I talk, I start to, check myself too? I do that. I'm going to stop doing it. And I'm trying to stop doing it. Stop getting impatient with other people's journey because I want something. And in order for me to have this, I feel like you need to be on board and building me. But what I don't realize is that the universe got some people all the way over here I ain't even met yet. That's building and getting themselves prepared to align with me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Getting into Vesta. Vesta is the feminine energy of Saturn. So Saturn is that masculine energy that's like authority, karma, get things done, structure, and things like that. Vesta is the feminine energy. It's about going inward with that energy and creating that inward structure and getting things done. And we started the day off at 20 degrees, 38 altitude in Virgo in the second house. We will end it at 20 degrees, 44 altitude in Virgo in the second house. So we have Vesta causing us to go inward and create that structure and things like that. And also organize it, yeah? That Virgo energy of organization and analyzing and things like that. But also, we also know what comes with Virgo energy: nervousness and overthinking and over worrying. And that is going to come. But if you're being patient with yourself, if you're being aware and you know there's a whole bunch of fire energy going on and stuff like that, you can be able to hone in and say, you know what, it's okay. We're gonna one thing at a time. We're gonna tap into that true note of Gemini energy. We're gonna tap into this inward energy that's causing us to just organize and align and balance. Because that's what all these planets are causing us to do, is just showing us on the outward versus inward realm how it's getting done. And to some of you guys who are not aligned, it seems a little scary. It seems like revelations, the end of days, and things like that. I get it. It is the end of days. It is revelation. It is a new world order. We are having climate change. Things are changing. Take your emotions out of those words and listen to the words and align yourself with the words without your emotion. Now make those words mean what you want them to mean and stop tapping into the God and other people that wanted you to feel those emotions you feel when I say new world order, when I say climate change, when I say revelation. When I say those things, what do you feel? What do you think? Unlearn that and tap into the God in you and change it. Ashe. And that's what Vesta wants you to do too. So Iris. So yesterday I had an individual that commented. I don't know if he's here today. I'm on like 5 different platforms at the same time. That's why I'm always looking around. But like I had a brother come to me and say, hey, can you let us know where Iris is? So Iris is a nebula, which is like a accumulation of meteors and asteroids and things like that. And Iris is actually an Aquarius energy. Now, I'm still in the process of figuring out how to get in touch with nebulas as far as finding out the house, because nebulas can be so expansive that they can kind of sometimes be a whole constellation in themselves, and they can kind of be in 2 different things, 2 different spaces and places. I'm working on it. This is my first day going outward into this information. But Iris is this morning was at 13 degrees, 8 altitude at Aquarius. We will still be in Aquarius in this evening at 13 degrees, 8 altitude. So we don't really move. Iris, this is so interesting. So Iris is all about justice, but it's justice through water. So Iris was a water carrier from Styx, right? And what she would do is grab the water from the Styx river, and carry it to the courtroom. Now, you know how like when we go on the stand, we put our hand on the Bible and we tell lies? Okay, so when you go on the stand, you drink the water. And if you died while you were up there, it's because you were lying. Now, if you lived and stuff, it was because you were telling the truth. Now, the analogy, well, as above, so below. So now with that being the stars in Aquarius, first of all, that's water inside of air. And what is that? That's a hurricane, right? So we're going to feel like a hurricane going on. Then we have this energy of justice and truth, right? Sitting next to Saturn, Jupiter, and what else is in Aquarius? Pallas, which is what? Consciousness rising? Yes. So consciousness rising, our law and authority, our traditions, all of that. And then this justice energy that unlocks when people are lying and telling the truth. We have all of that sitting in Aquarius energy of rebellion and becoming social and become together. So yes, if you are not aligned with the planets and you don't understand what's happening, these next few months are going to be so scary for you, especially when the sun enters Aries. It's going to be such a scary time for you because the news is going to tell you what they want you to say. Listen, I want y'all to think about this. Think about this. If I'm aligned with the planets, right? And I'm tapped in with the God in me. And we done already talked about evil people already having the God in them. They're tapped into the God in them. They're doing what they want with the God in them. If I know about the stars and I know as above and so below, what makes you think these evil people that have tapped into the God in them don't know as above, so is below either? If I'm telling you about the stars, what makes you think that there's not this 1% meeting where they're talking about Pallas and the draconian transits and the Palladius transits? What makes you think that those conversations aren't going on with them? Do you guys not see how DC is set up? DC is a constellation. The way the buildings are set up is an intentional constellation. The way those buildings are set up by the National Mall. As above, so is below. And you can double check that one. I welcome it. I love it when y'all double check my information anyway. And that's just all. As well as the U.S. military building. All the U.S. military buildings are intentionally built. You think that they're at their coordinates by accident? No. They're at those precise coordinates on purpose. Why do you think that America spent so much energy conquering other lands and recalling them things, Middle East and all that stuff and all those other things, and jumbling people's minds up with religion and what the maps of different religions look like so we could accept those things? Because through religion is justice. Yeah, we said that earlier, right? We're going to find our balance and all those things and our healing and justice through religion, right? And that's where they found the oppression. Everything is through that spirituality. So with Iris and Aquarius, it's like the water is going to make the truth come out in people. Like, people are going to start crying while they're lying. But the tears is coming out not because they're telling the truth and you won't believe them. The tears is coming out because they fucking lying. Like the truth is gonna start coming out in the water. I don't know what that means for you, but like I had so many like revelations on that. Like my mind just started going crazy. I love it when I get streams of thought because I feel like that's like the God in me times 1,000. But like when I think of that, I think of like, first of all, we know that water is starting to go on stocks now. Water is tradable. I don't know if that's set in stone now, but I recall reading a few different articles about investing in water as a stock now. Why isn't that bringing the truth to certain things out to you guys? Like, this is how y'all treating water? Y'all done turned water into like a thing that can be traded so y'all can like rise and fall the prices of water on such like on the same level y'all do gold and silver. That's crazy. It goes to show how the government has been treating people versus corporations. Because why would the government allow water to be treated that way if we're dealing with water shortages in other places? Same thing with how much water we use for livestock and how much water we use for like corporate farming and all that stuff like that. That's detrimental to our health. We use so much water. We use so much water for livestock farming. It's disgusting. It's disgusting because we need the water to make the stuff for them to eat, and we be feeding them garbage anyway. Did you know that some farmers feed their chickens candy because they can't afford to do shit else? That's how much. That's how excessive we have been in things that our farmers are resorting to feeding the animals that we eat with trash because that's all they can afford to give them, and the water is just no water. Like, so the truth is coming out in the water. More truths are gonna come out in the water. I remember. I see. I don't know how long Aquarius stays. I mean, how long Iris stays in the zodiac energy. I'm just now getting introduced to this nebula energy. However, at the same token, we got all that stuff with Michigan and stuff like that, with Flint and the water and stuff like that. I feel like there's a possibility some shit like that is gonna come back up. Some truths with that is gonna come back up. I don't know. I don't read the news and stuff like that much anymore. Even alternative news, I don't indulge it anymore the way I used to because I watch Social Dilemma and it really bothers me. So now I only talk to people that are on platforms like this. Like if somebody's sitting in their house and just speaking on the streams of thought and tapping into the God in them and giving me the news in that way, I'll indulge a little bit within reason. I just can't. I just like to be around people that are talking about building rather than people concentrating on issues. That's just how I move. But like, yeah, I just feel like something might pop up with that again, like something along the lines of like revealing why the water isn't being clean. Because a lot of us, it's to the point now where we make jokes about Flint, Michigan, right? And we make jokes about all the other places. But what I remember about Flint, Michigan, first of all, I live in Jersey. And about 10 years ago, I lived in East Orange. And when I lived in East Orange, it was days where we weren't allowed to use the water. We would get letters on our door where, don't use the water today, or fill up your tub and your sinks this morning because tonight you won't be able to use the water because the pipes are doing this, that, and the third. And that's happening in the poor part of East Orange. And I know y'all know the Oranges is where they had Desperate Housewives of New Jersey and stuff. So it's not all the Oranges that's like that. Okay? It's a part. And it actually came out around that time on New Jersey local news. They were showing all the schools that they had to shut down their water fountains. Oh, you're from East Orange, okay. So they had to show like they shut down all the water fountains. And it just so happened to be in all the urban area schools. Now, this year we have Governor Murphy. I don't like this guy, but he, took money away from. Now, if you go back and you read the article of the kids who had the dirty water in their schools, and then you go back and read the article of the school that they're taking away the money from, it's the same fucking school. So what is happening to the water in the school? I mean, it doesn't matter right now being present in this moment because kids are learning virtually, thank God. But, in September, they were trying to push hybrid learning on my oldest kid. And my kid likes to drink water. Where he uses at the water fountain. And it's the same school that now, not only do you got dirty water, but now y'all got less money. And I know it ain't going towards y'all fixing y'all fountains and y'all drinking water and stuff like that. And it's not just about drinking. What do you wash your ass with? Your skin is porous. Your skin is semi-permeable. That means certain things can go in and certain things can go out. And if your skin can absorb lotion and stuff, what makes you think it's not absorbing the metals and things like that in your water? It's the same thing. So I feel like a lot of truths are going to come out about water, about things that, oh my God, his hands is on my face, y'all. I'm just thinking about all the places his hands have just been. So we want to think about that's why you moved. I moved to Virginia. Okay, I moved to Virginia. I moved for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons was I was trying to fix my relationship, and I thought that maybe if we moved away from the hoes, it would be better. It would be better, but also cheaper. And also found a job opportunity, and he found his dad's side of the family. It was a whole big thing with so many reasons to go to Virginia, and none of it worked because we didn't leave for any of the right reasons. And the universe was like, bitch, I told you through many tarot card readings to leave that nigga alone. And so I ended up back in Jersey. So now I'm back in Jersey. This is my first year back. Well, I'm going on my second year back. And I'm in the process of moving out to Philly now. Not that that's any better. I'm pretty sure the water there is super, super, super trash because that's like ground zero for like any type of experiment on Black people. But going out there because I found a community out there worth building with, and that's really what the shit. But yeah, I think that some things are going to come out with the water. What people have been doing in the water, people have been doing to the water, the depletion of water. I think that the depletion of water is a fallacy. I feel like the universe is so abundant, and we are in water right now. As I sit with you in my bedroom, I am sitting in water. I am water. So I feel like fallacies are being created to create a fear in us so that we can keep being dependent on the same system that insists on oppressing us. If we need the system to impress us, we will allow the oppression. But if I trust the God in me and I'm aware that if I dig at least 15 feet in the ground, I'm always going to find water, then fuck what you're talking about. And if I am tapped into the God in me and I know that I don't need meat to survive, I trust the protein in the plants and that God has provided, and I trust in my body to be able to tell me when it ain't enough. Fuck what you talking about? You really got to learn how to trust the God in you and be self-sufficient and just be an adult. Stop being everybody's dependent. You think you're not a dependent because you go to work and you pay bills? No, you're a dependent. You're dependent as fuck because you don't know how to grow your own food. You can't go outside and pick up a leaf and tell me what tree that fell from. You're a dependent because you need somebody to provide you with clean water. You're a dependent because you need somebody to drive across country and deliver you some fruits and vegetables and for you to be able to go to the store and get them. You're dependent because you need somebody to raise the meat that you want to eat 3-4 times a day. You're dependent. There's nothing independent about you. Now look at the toxic things that you're dependent upon. And it's not just toxic to you, it's toxic to the earth. It's toxic to the air. It's toxic to your children who in 10, 20 years, it'll be their job to clean it the fuck up. It's time to be self-sufficient and tap into the God in you and understand that people are praying out here and you out here not fucking listening. Who do you think people are praying to when they pray? They're praying to you. They're praying to me. They're praying to everyone. Stop the famine. Stop the starvation. Stop the bills. Stop the PSE&G from digging up ancestor graves to build more pipelines. Stop the oil. Stop dropping oil in the fucking ocean. Stop the water. Stop the livestock farming. Stop filling up landfills with cars and buildings. Stop leaving abandoned buildings around with all these homeless people walking around them. Stop it. That's what we've been praying for, right? Who are you praying to? Tap into the God in you and answer the motherfucking prayers and stop acting like you're talking to some invisible being. You are the fucking invisible being. Now roll up your sleeves and answer them fucking prayers. You've been praying since you were 5 years old. When are you going to answer your prayers? When are you going to answer your prayers? We're not even talking about the prayers of the other people around us that we be listening to. Tapping into yours. What you've been praying for since you was 5 years old. When you going to answer your own prayers? So you can start answering the other ones around you. I'm ready to start answering some prayers about famine. I'm ready to start answering some prayers about keeping people's electricity on and having ownership of houses and land and stuff. I'm ready to answer people's prayers of finding balanced love. So I'm out here talking to y'all so we all can be balanced and healed and we can find the companionship we need and we deserve. Let's align, Ashe. Who are you? We got to tap in so we can relay the messages to the other people that's not tapped in, all right? And that's my TED Talk for today. I was with y'all for 2.5 hours, y'all. Today was love and loaded. It seems like the further I go along, the more love and loaded this is. And I'm all right with it. I love it. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you times 1,000 for participating and giving me feedback and talking and things like that. I love that. Bring y'all family and friends in. I will be back here tomorrow. I'll be going over the planets tomorrow. We'll be expanding our knowledge tomorrow as we have some planets that are moving into new zodiac energies and new houses. We're tapping into new energy, so it's not like I'm giving y'all the same reading every day. Look at them. I appreciate y'all. Check out let'snobodiescollection.com. Message me. I do services and products. I have some events coming up for y'all. Again, the Cosmic Nobodies Konvention is August 26th to the 28th, 2021. We will be having a fashion show. So if you are a designer, if you know designers, if you know models, if you know performance artists that'll be willing to perform on stage while we have the fashion show, we're accepting that. If you have a workshop that you like to perform, or if you're a vendor and you would like to vend for the weekend or host a workshop for the weekend, please sign up on the website. If you have somebody that you would like to vote for, we have a bunch of different categories. Please vote for your peoples on the website. Also, we are also accepting volunteers. Volunteers get free admission for the entire weekend. People who conduct workshops are considered as volunteers, so you get free admission for the entire weekend. Vendors, I believe, is about $75 for the weekend. Performers is $25 per show you perform in. So, we're putting money back in so we can make the awards and stuff like that. That Saturday be the actual award ceremony. We're going to be, doing our own thing and awarding our people and having performances. Again, if you would like to perform, if you would like to be an announcer of an award or so on and so forth, definitely doing that. That Sunday, we'll be having a brunch. We'll be talking about our next Cosmic Nobodies Convention. And we'll be, finishing up with our vendors and our workshops and going on about into the world and getting ready to build and create and produce and align with the people we met that weekend and get ready for the next award ceremony. Start putting your songs out, putting your music videos out, putting your music and your TV shows out. Start advising people. Start using your platform. So 2022, when we have our next Cosmic Nobodies Convention, you'll be nominated. Because you're gonna put that work in all year. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're creating a new world order, and we're tapping into the God in us while we do it. This is a combination of Let's Nobodies and Cosmic Vision Jewelry. So these are two businesses coming together and aligning as one so we can create something for y'all. And I'm very excited about it. And it'll be a first of many events, as well as every 6 months, we do an artist retreat. The first artist retreat was in Starlight, Pennsylvania. This year, in June, we will probably be doing it in Starlight, Pennsylvania, if not somewhere else. We'll see where it goes. And so those are the events that we have coming up. Please tap in, let'snobodiescollection.com. Yes, I'm about to eat my food. That's probably cold, but I'm still gonna eat it. I'm gonna dip that on the barbecue sauce. It's gonna make it all over again. I love y'all. I'll tap in and I'll tune in with y'all tomorrow. Stay blessed, stay aligned. Share this video.